had a good weekend. Hope you're off to a good start for the week. We got a busy day ahead of us. We got a lot of work to do, so this will be a working live. Got a whole bunch of orders from the weekend: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, chris@peak.com. Just a bunch of stuff to ship up. So I'm going to go through every single order from the weekend. This is actually 3 days worth of sales. I did not ship on Saturday, which is a rarity for me. Took the day off of shipping. So we got 3 full days worth, 72 hours worth of shipping to do today. So I'm excited to spend some time with you today. Say hello down below in the chat if you haven't done so already. I hope you had a good weekend. We sure did. And let's see the tail of the tape for sales for the weekend. I thought it was going to be a slow weekend. I had a really, really great month. So I was wanting to finish the weekend really strong. And I was feeling a soft weekend coming on. I don't know why. I just sort of felt it in the air. And so Friday was 9 sales, Saturday was 12 sales, and then Sunday was 15 sales. So it got better as the weekend went on. I did a few things, though, to ensure that it was going to be a good weekend, because I just felt it was going to be a soft weekend, but it ended up being really good. I'm happy with it. But sometimes I'll have like a really, really good month, and I'm like, man, I'm on pace for, X, Y, or Z. And then the last few days tend to flop. That happens a lot. And I felt it coming this month. I didn't want it to happen, and it didn't, but I did some things to make that happen. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But we do have a lot of orders to ship out, so you'll have a lot of time to ask questions, a lot of time to talk reselling and all that stuff. Welcome in McDermott. McDermott Frugal Finds is in the house over on IG. Remember, we're live every Monday on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, just giving you a good, honest glimpse into what's going on with our reselling business, the business we run out of the home. We've been running out of the home for, it'll be 8 years next month since I opened this business, and 5.5 years since this became a full-time pursuit, since I quit my last job back in December of 2020. What's up? Juliet is in the house. Josh, welcome back, brother. Good to have you. What you laughing about? What's up, Adam? Crazy Depop sales nearly outperformed all other markets. How about that? What a weird weekend. I'll take it. Morning from the pool. Nick's in the pool. The rest of us are working really hard, and I could just see Nick just chilling in the pool, watching YouTube. You're living the life, brother. Hope you had a good weekend. Good morning, Josh. Got to put in an order for coffee soon. I'm ready to ship it whenever you're ready to push through that order. Appreciate the support. What's up, Anna? How are you? We'll be flying through Charlotte Thursday on the way to Florida for some vacation. You'll be 2 hours, and the airport's probably 2 hours and 15 minutes from me. So if you want to take a jaunt up to the mountains, we won't be far. I'll actually be, you'll be Thursday. Yeah, I'll be at a baseball game Thursday night, I think is the plan. What's up? Piece of scrap. Good morning. Hope you have a good trip to Florida, by the way. Depop free shipping changed it greatly. Gotcha. Is that what they do over there anymore? I don't even pay attention over there on Depop. Is it free shipping? Is that a thing? All right, y'all. Let's get these shipping labels printed out. Y'all, you're the boss for just a moment here. You can let me know, what are we going to ship first? eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, or chris@peak.com. Just write it down below in the chat, and that's what we'll ship first. You are the boss. Let's print out these eBay labels. So yeah, good weekend of sales. I'd love to hear what happened in your weekend. Did you close the month strong? Did you hit your goals for the month? Share a little bit about that. I think I finished May way up from April. If I look real quick, I finished... Let me just do some quick math here. Calculator. I finished the month up 35% over April, month to month. So really, really strong month. Very, very happy with that. And I hope that continues, although we're walking into summer slowdowns. So you just... usually I don't maintain those April, May kind of months through the summer, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Every year is a little bit different. Is now not sure for how long. Gotcha. The Depop free shipping. Gotcha. Piece of scrap says eBay. We'll do eBay first. Thanks for being the boss for just a second. Depop, Posh was 7. Depop was 7. Posh was 8. eBay 11. It's a strong Depop weekend. Was that like a sale or a special or something that Depop ran for the weekend where it's like, I don't know, free shipping or something? Is that like a promotion or something like that? But we do have a lot of sales to get through today. So we will be on here for quite a bit. So I don't know, maybe grab yourself something to sip on, fasten your seatbelt. If you're driving, be safe out there. Let me know what you're up to today too. Is today a big shipping day for you? Are you out thrifting? Are you out? I guess probably not many garage sales on Mondays, but I don't know. You hitting the flea market? What you up to today? What's the thing? Welcome in. It's your first time joining the live. We do this every single Monday. Been doing it for years, every single Monday. Actually, years ago, we used to do it every day, but cut it back to every single Monday. So just a good, honest glimpse into our business. It's an opportunity just to chat back and forth about reselling, that sort of thing. I love answering questions, and I'll show you everything that's sold over the weekend from the last 3 days. I'll tell you how much it sold for, what I paid for that item, about what my profits are, how long they took to sell, all that stuff. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have about all of that or anything that's going on in the reselling world. Happy to just chitty chat. It's good, clean fun, I think. And I appreciate you being here. It makes my day a lot more fun than just shipping by myself. It can be a lonely business sometimes, right? So it's nice to have some folks to talk to. What's up, Ben? How are you? Afternoon to you. Unsure, but that way for about a week and instantly started having about 70% sale through on offers. Oh, like people are actually like paying for their offers. That's nice. 70% seems really high. What's up, Thrifting Grammy? Welcome in. Good to have you. Enjoy having everybody here. Let's kick it off with, we said eBay first was what Piece of Scrap said. So we will start with, this is our first order. This would have come in sometime Friday afternoon or Friday evening. So I ran a sale over the weekend. So I did, what did I do? 20% off for 3 days off of like 425 items out of my inventory. I picked a lot of summertime stuff because I want to move that summertime stuff now, but I also picked kind of all different seasons. But I really wanted to focus on moving short sleeves, shorts, that sort of thing before we kind of get into the dead of the summertime here. Because the best season for selling all that stuff has already happened, April and May, and then things tend to slow down in June as people travel and all that stuff. So anyway, our first sale going out the door, $46.38, brand new with tags, Polo Ralph Lauren, just a plain polo shirt, pony on the chest. You can't see it, but it's there. Just a short sleeve cotton, very average, very normal polo shirt. Sold for $46.38. The buyer paid $6.95 shipping. I may not say it on every single sale, but every single buyer paid for shipping on top of whatever the sale price was. So if I forget to say that, now you know buyer pays shipping on everything. This one is going out to Jeff. Jeff's in California. Here's his thank you card. So going clear across the country here from Asheville, North Carolina to Tustin, California. It is a sticky, like humid day here in Asheville. Gosh, since I saw you last week, I mentioned that we had started to get some rain, which we direly needed. Well, last time I saw you was Monday. So Monday night, we got heavy, heavy rain for a few hours here. And we had a landslide on our road. It didn't impact us at all. It was like way on the other end of the road here. And so our road literally had a landslide. They cleared that out. They had even more rain about like as the crow flies from us over the mountains, like maybe 5 or 8 miles away. They had estimated somewhere between like maybe 10 and 12 inches in like this like little microclimate up there. And so that washed out a couple of different roads, including a main road, 74A, which is Charlotte Highway. It wiped that out. So that road was closed for not 24 hours, but like almost 24 hours. They had that main road that goes from, it takes you from Fairview out to Girton into Chimney Rock and all that area. So the road was like completely like washed out, like underneath the road was just, yeah, the pictures are wild. So they had to fix that. And there was another road that got washed out. They had to do some swiftwater rescues up there in the Girton area, like Bat Cave area. Just tons of water over like some of these rural towns that are just east of us, like 5-8 miles as the crow flies. Edneyville, Blue Ridge, those towns just got pounded. We did too, but they got like a few inches more than us. And it all happened like over a course of like a couple hours. And of course we got a bunch of rain like over the weekend, and we had rain throughout the week. So it was already like saturated ground, all that. And then you just dump like 10 to 12 inches of rain in a couple of hours. Just nuts, like torrential kind of Pisca rain, like we call it out here. So just a wild Monday night since I last saw you. So that happened. And yeah, we don't have drought conditions really anymore because we got rain almost every day last week too. It was kind of like a mix of sun and rain, if you care. But today, no rain yet, and kind of like partly cloudy, just super humid out there. Just sticky pulling all these orders from the garage. Got a brand new with tags, Good Golf. I paid about $10 a piece for these. I ran these on sale over the weekend. I wanted them to move. I've been selling most of these right around the $30 mark. This one sold for $23.76. Brand new with tags, retail $75. I'll show you the logo just so you can see it. This is a brand that was started by a YouTube outfit called Good Golf. They have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. They do a lot of fun like golf related stuff. So they have their own brand called Good Golf apparel. And yeah, so this one sold for $23.76. I bought a ton of these, like maybe 25 or 30 of these retail arbitrage back in January. They have been selling well, but I put it on sale for the weekend and moved some more of them. And then this one sold on a nifty best offer. So it was 20% off. And then my cross-lister Nifty came in and then sent another 10% off that to this buyer, Carolyn. So she got a really great price, $23.76 on this one going out the door. Plus she paid $6.95 shipping. This is going from Asheville, North Carolina to Falmouth, Maine. Can't really beat being up in on the Maine coast in the summertime. So I hope Carolyn enjoys this shirt. Let's see. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you here. We're just getting started shipping out orders from the weekend. I have 3 full days of sale. Did I not make 3 full days of sale? I did not make a thank you card for Carolyn. Well, that was rude. Huh, okay. We got her one now. All right, what's going on in the chat? I missed the chat here for a minute or two. 2 weeks ago, I was on pace for a negative 12% increase in sales, doubled down and finished plus 43. Nice hustle over there, Armstrong. Love to hear that. Great sale. Thanks, piece of scrap. Good weekend of sales, hitting a couple of thrifts on my way to Knoxville today. Nice, safe travels. Hope you get some good stuff at the thrift. I'm just about to get started. Should I use Nifty to list on eBay? Jane, you could, but my suggestion would be to hit 2 important benchmarks first before you consider getting something like Nifty. That's my suggestion. Somebody else might say something different. So to me, I'd love for you to get to 150 items listed in your store in one platform. Never mind like doing all these other platforms. That's going to create a lot of complexity in your business really early on. I want you to master one platform. I would suggest choosing eBay or Poshmark first. Start there and master one of those 2 platforms. So get 150 items listed in your store and get to 75 items that you've actually sold and shipped. That's going to be a lot of experience for you right there. You're going to get really comfortable with shipping items. You're going to get comfortable with responding to offers. You're going to get comfortable listing items, pricing items, all that stuff. Before you kind of jump into all these different platforms that all have like kind of different ways of shipping. They all have like kind of different etiquettes and just different ways they behave. Master one platform first before you get into all that mess. That's my suggestion. Somebody else might say something different, but Jane, wishing you luck as you get started. If you have follow-up questions, let me know. Happy to answer those. Love that question. Surprised me too. Nice, Adam. Hello. I already got to that one. Let's see. Who did I miss? What's Ralph Lauren's favorite space mission? Apollo 13. Andrew, sometimes you're funny. That's not funny. That's not funny. Long-time viewer, first time in the live, been full-time selling a while now. Have been recently jumped into Blazers from your influence. Thanks for your knowledge. You're welcome. I appreciate you being here. I love that you're learning. And that's great. That's the most important metric. If you can learn every day, you're going to be successful. California here. Our summer just starting in the 70s today. Not too hot, just right. I like it. I hope you have a great day. Does the shed garage have climate control? It does not. It is a 1-car garage, no climate control. When you run a sale, do you take offers, not Nifty? Yes, I do. What's up? Peter's in the house. What's up, man? Love the content. Always motivated me to keep on thrifting, listening, and selling. Love to hear that. That's what this is all about. Just maybe a little bit of knowledge, maybe a little bit of motivation or inspiration, whatever it is. So I'm glad that you're feeling the vibe, Peter. Hope you're crushing it over there. Chemo is in the house. What is up? How are you? How's things down in Houston? I bet you're hot today. Can you do a Wrangler jeans episode? How to identify and which ones to sell? Maybe. I did a video like that actually recently. I was just seeing if I maybe had a pair of Wranglers sitting around. Just about every pair of Wranglers is going to have it's going to have a model number on the inside of the zip fly. Just open up the fly and you're going to see a little like white rectangular tag right in there, and it's going to have a model number right on the top above where the size is. You can just look up that model number. Jeans can't be any easier to comp because just about every brand of jeans either has like a model name, like a Levi's might have 517, or if it's like Joe's jeans, it'll say like the Brixton or something like that on it, or the Classic, or I think I sold one today called Rebel, right? So it's so easy to comp jeans because they are all going to have a model name. Shirts usually don't have that sort of thing, but on Wranglers, just open up the Wranglers. You don't need a video about it. Just open up where the fly is on the jeans. Open up that fly, look at that model number right on there, and just comp it based on the model number. They all have it. Super, super easy. Once you do it a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it. I'd rather teach you to fish than to tell you which ones to pick up, right? Just look at the model number and look at the recent sales on eBay and look at the sell-through rate and see, based on the buy cost that you're looking at, does that pair of jeans make sense for your business model, which might be different than mine? You know, is that profit enough? Is that sell-through rate enough for you? And then make a good decision. What's up, Jane? How are you? Hello. Oh, Jane, that's the follow-up. You're welcome. Let me know if you have follow-ups to that question. And wishing you the best as you get started. You're going to do great, I can tell. Because you're asking good questions. People who ask good questions tend to be successful. What's up, Ken from Maine? Welcome in. Good afternoon. Channeled my inner Chris and sold a Bad Birdie polo. The buyer seemed excited and said the pattern is beautiful. Nice. I like it. I sold the Bad Birdie. I sold one Bad Birdie over the weekend. We'll ship that out today. So we're like twinsies. Don't ignore Faraday men's medium flannel shirts when you find them at thrift stores. That's a very specific Faraday men's medium. Should we avoid the larges, or what's going on there? It's just funny that you, I'm just giving you a hard time, but that's funny that you said like, it's got to be men's medium flannel Faraday. You're welcome. The Wrath of John. I like that name. You may find a yellow looking tag on those vintage Wrangler. You are correct. What is up? Happy Monday to Mark is in the house. How do you ship hats? I ship them in usually in an 8x6x4 box, but if it's a high crown hat, I use an 8x6x6. And I have all those, by the way, I have all that stuff linked. You're over on, what is that, Jay and Queena? On Instagram, I can't drop you a direct link, but if you just go to my profile, you'll find my list of recommended reseller supplies. And in there, I have the exact boxes that I order, that I ship hats. And I think I have both sizes too, the 8x6x4 and the 8x6x6 that I use to ship hats. And by the way, this is a good time to mention to you all that all the recommended reseller supplies, everything that I'm going to use today is here in this document that I'm going to link down below in the chat. Recommended reseller supplies. It's everything. It's shipping supplies. It's my workstation, my workbench, everything. Like storage out in the garage, my shelving, the lights that I use for my photos, which are really, really important. You name it. It's linked there. My laptop stand that you're sitting on right now, all that stuff is linked. Everything from my whole office setup. Bass and Coffee's in the house. What do you think about Spadeberry adding cross-listing? They implemented Depop, and in 2 weeks, they should have other platforms up and running. No clue. I don't follow like what's going on with like other cross-listers and all that stuff. So if you're using it, you can let me know. And if it becomes better than the product that I'm currently using, then I'll go test it and see what you think. But since I love the product and I think Nifty is the best product on the market right now, I'm not like shopping for new stuff. But if people hit me over the head and say this other thing is way better, I'll go take a look, make my own decisions, do a trial on it and all that stuff. But for now, I'm still entrenched with Nifty and have been for over 2 years now. I started Nifty and I switched to Nifty in April of 2024. Someday, will somebody overtake them? Probably, maybe. But right now that hasn't happened yet. Is there any specific software that I should use when I start Poshmark? How do I keep track of my orders? I'm a total rookie. So yeah, I mean, you can consider using Nifty, but as I talked about, I think I would stick to one platform. You don't need anything else in addition to Poshmark. You list your items on there. You'll print your shipping labels right through Poshmark. So if that's the platform you're going to start with, you don't need anything else. Just use Poshmark. Get rolling, get some sales, and then we'll take it from there. How about that? I think people get too caught up, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but sometimes people get too caught up in all this stuff. What am I going to do about taxes? What am I going to do about, returns? What am I going to do this, that, the other thing? Whatever. Right now, those are things that you can worry about. Right now, the most important thing is get people to give you money for the thing that you have, right? Whatever your business is. Right now, if it's going to be Poshmark, then you're probably selling clothes or whatever. Get somebody to buy stuff from you, and then you can worry about some of these other things later, right? You're not going to have the perfect shipping set up right away. You're not going to have taxes all dialed in right away. You don't need to. You don't have any of those problems unless you have people giving you money for your things or for your services. So let's just get started. That was some advice that I got from a guy many, many moons ago. He's like, you're asking a lot of questions about business. They're good questions, but he's like, you don't have sales yet. So you don't have any of those problems. Get sales first, get people to give you money for products or services. And then let's tackle some of those questions. I was in Indianapolis for the weekend for my grandson's birthday, tried to hit a bunch of thrifts to steal a bunch of good stuff from Surf's Up Nice. I like the strategy there. Hope you had a good trip. Grandson's birthday. Hope you had a nice birthday. That's awesome. Don't ship hats in a poly bag. Thank you for using a box. I bought a really nice baseball cap for my husband, and they sent it in a poly bag. It came so flat, so sad. It's kind of interesting to me that people ship hats in poly bags, because you know exactly what USPS or UPS, you know what they're going to do. It's just going into like a big bin with all kinds of heavy stuff on top of it. It's going to get crushed. There's just no way around it. It's not like USPS is like taking your little bag here and they're like, ooh, okay, this might be a hat. You know, we're going to put this on the top so it doesn't get crushed. It is going in a bin, and they are throwing big, heavy boxes up on top of it. And it is going to travel across the country. It's going to get out at a distribution center where they're going to do the same thing. And then it's going to get off at another post office where it's going to go into another bin crammed under all kinds of heavy boxes. Yeah, they're not just like, ooh, this is a hat. We'll be careful with it. We'll be careful with it. We don't want Kimberly's hat to get smushed. Use a box. What's up, Carolyn? Welcome in. I'm currently using Nifty for cross-listing and automation and using Spadeberry to generate my listings. You got a complicated system over there, brother. I have FootJoy black polo shirt that looks navy blue in photos. I tried different kinds of lighting, but no luck. I have black polo shirt that looks navy blue in photos. I tried different kinds of lighting, but no luck. You might have to just mess with your photo, your iPhone, or I don't know what you use, like whatever your photo app that you're using. You might have to like mess with some settings or something. Maybe Google that exact question you have up there and put in whatever phone you have and see what advice exists out there on the internet, right? For photoing black, or photoing black with your exact phone or with your exact app, and see what people can say out there, because every phone's going to behave a little bit differently, or every camera is going to behave a little bit differently. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. What's up, Low Tide in the house? Low Tide Mercantile, welcome in. It was a $65 hat. Sheesh. It's a flat $65 hat, which is now a $10 hat. Welcome in. Good to have you. It looks navy blue in the photos. It probably is. Andrew, that's not helpful, brother. That's not helpful. Carolyn, what were we doing? We were shipping Carolyn's order. A good. We're only on our second order of the day. What are we in? We've already been live for 22 minutes and 54 seconds. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate every one of you being here. How many people we got in here? We got 52 people in the house, and we got some people over on Instagram too. Another 8 folks on Instagram. So 60 plus people in the house. Hope that all of you are having a great day. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to share what's going on with your reselling business, I want to listen. And if you have questions that I don't know the answer to, there's a lot of smart resellers that are in the chat right here. So if I don't know the answer, there's a good chance that somebody else has the answer. So especially if it's Andrew W. Miller. If on Nifty you can alter the contrast and white out back. Yep, that's a good point. Yeah, you can mess, like in Nifty, you can mess with like brightness, contrast, and all that stuff to try to get the colors right. I do that a lot, actually. I should have said that. So thank you, Adam, for picking up on that. Once we hit 5K on a plate form, does Posh? Once we hit 5K on a platform, does Posh send us the tax form? I would just Google that question. I'm not really sure. I've got a tax form from Poshmark every year since 2021, so I don't really know what the threshold is, but that would be an easy one just to Google whatever that threshold is. Maybe somebody in the chat knows that one. Sorry, I've been full-time for since 2020, so I've just got those Posh tax forms every year since I started reselling on Posh in 2021. That is. Nifty has been a game changer for me. I'm so glad you recommended it. My husband is diligently working to reshape it. Nice. What do you mean? He's working to reshape it? What is he reshaping? I'm confused, but I'm glad that you're enjoying Nifty. I enjoy it too. What do you think about auctions? Auctions work with items that are in very low supply and very high demand. That usually doesn't describe shirts. I did a post the other day about actually what was it? The brand Roback, which is one of the hottest, brands out there right now, over 100% sell-through rate. And I showed an example of somebody who ran a all-over dog print, right, Roback, and it sold on auction with one bid for $24. And then somebody sold a very similar one on a buy it now, and it sold for like $54, right, all over dog print still. So unless you have an item that is really rare, like not any supply online, it probably doesn't make sense to do auctions on that item unless you don't care about the final sale price, but you probably won't maximize your money. But if you have a Roback polo and you put that up and you put it on auction, guess what? At any given time, there's over 1,000 Roback polos available on eBay, right? So people could look at your auction and you might get one bidder on it because someone's like, I can get a good deal on this, but really people like the convenience now of going in and saying, hey, I like that polo. It's listed for $54.99. I'm going to buy it for $54.99 and not have to worry about following an auction for the next 3 days, right? So if you have a really rare item, meaning there's like none or only a handful of them listed on eBay, it might be worth considering an auction. But for most clothing, it's just not true. Unless you have like a real rare vintage piece, then it could work. What's up, Misty? And remember, auctions could always work if you don't care about the final sale price. It just might go for really cheap. I'll give you my weekly spiel. Nifty is the best. Can't imagine doing this without it. And most importantly, the coffee is amazing. Well, thank you. I take all the compliments. I appreciate that. Appreciate the positive energy. Yeah, as you know, we're big fans of Nifty over here for sure. I'm struggling with shipping on Mercari. I feel like it's taking forever and customers get antsy. I agree with you. That UPS ground, what is it? Ground Saver. That it's that product. It's the cheapest one usually on Mercari on items that are over £1. And so it ships through UPS. You drop it off at a UPS drop off. UPS ships it to like whatever town that it's going to, and then they bring it to the post office, and the post office takes it like the final yard to the person. And sometimes it can take a really long time. It's kind of a crappy service in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm going to ship something out via that today, actually. I hate trying to research price when using Nifty to generate my listing. Spadeberry generates an estimated ballpark price I can go along with. Gotcha. I do not like any kind of price estimate tool. I have not used the Spadeberry one, but I am a better pricer than any of these tools that I've seen for like pricing stuff. So but some of that comes with experience. Like 90% of what I list, I don't have to comp because I've sold it before. So I don't have to do a lot of research. So I don't mind putting in a price, but I can understand how somebody would enjoy having like a price estimator. The problem with a price estimator, especially on like clothing, like a pattern and a size can make such a difference. And but to each their own, right? I think 600 is the threshold for 1099s. There you go. Sorry, Chris, not auctions. I don't know what that is, unless that's a typo. I don't know what you're asking about there. Curious if you sold on Whatnot without going live. Now that Nifty cross-list to Whatnot, I'm curious, or is there a way to go on, or is live the way to go? So I sell, I've sold 7 items, I believe, on Whatnot since I started cross-listing some of my inventory over there. I have like a little more than half of my inventory cross-listed over to Whatnot at this point. So I have 7 sales since I started doing that. So we'll see. We'll see what the potential is long term. But yes, I am currently doing that. He has the hat in a cleaning cage. Sorry, contact matters. It's a Monday. He has the hat in a cleaning cage. I don't know what I must have missed the last message. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I'm not picking that one up. Sounds good. Thank you. You're welcome. Sup, Salt is in the house. Honey Queen's packing up too. I like it. Salt, what's good? How's things? What's new? What's happening? Got a pair of Wranglers going out the door right here. Somebody asked about Wranglers. So one thing when I find Wranglers that have that leather patch on the back pocket and the W stitched right there on that back pocket, I always look these ones up. And again, the model number will be on the inside of the fly, be on a white tag on the inside of the fly. So this one was actually the George Strait Cowboy Cut collection, and it says that like right on the inside here. So I always pick up the George Strait jeans. They're good sellers for me. But this one also has the model number 13MGSHD if you care. So these were men's size 38 by 32. They sold for $26.99. I paid $6 for these at a thrift store. 16 pairs of Wrangler jeans I've sold so far in 2026. People tell me all the time that Wrangler doesn't sell. There's probably two things at play with people who say the Wrangler doesn't sell. Number one, they're picking up the wrong Wrangler. They're not doing their homework like I just described. Like look for that leather tab on the back with a W, and then check the model number on the inside of the tag. Look at the sell-through rate. Look at the recent sales. See what they're going for on eBay, and make a good decision for your business. So number one, people aren't picking up the right Wranglers when they say that. Number two, they probably don't have a good selling strategy, right? They probably don't have better photos than their competition. They probably aren't cross-listing on the multiple platforms. They probably don't have great keywords in all their listings. And and they're probably not using automation tools to help them show up higher in search results. So, two things. You got to pick the right items from brands, number one. And then number two, you really got to dial in that sales strategy. Have great photos, great keywords, measurements in all your listings, cross-list on the multiple platforms, automation tools to show up higher in search results. And you'll sell a lot of basic stuff like Wrangler jeans. But remember, you're competing with something like Wrangler jeans. There's going to be hundreds of similar pairs of these listed at any given time. So you're competing with all those people. So just because you found the same jeans as I did, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to sell the same jeans for the same price I can, because you got to play like all those games and understand that you're competing. It's just like opening up a restaurant on a busy street of restaurants. You have to outcompete the other restaurants. People seem to understand that, right? You can't just like open a restaurant on a busy restaurant, on a busy street with a whole bunch of restaurants and be like, yeah, we're just going to compete because those restaurants are doing good, so we will too, right? Because there's a lot of foot traffic here. That's a crazy thought process, right? You have to actually you have to do things better than those other restaurants. It might be better service. It might be better food. It might be better prices. It might be better parking. It might be a better atmosphere on the inside. Like people seem to get that. If you're going to open a restaurant on a busy street of other restaurants, you're not just automatically going to succeed. You have to outcompete them. And the same thing is true on eBay. If you're going to list a very common item like Wrangler or Polo Ralph Lauren or Columbia, I'm just looking at, or Adidas, Bad Birdie, Faraday, these are very crowded markets. Joe's Jeans, G4. I'm going to give you a preview of what sold. Duluth. You have a lot of competition out there. So you got to do something better than them. And hopefully you got to do all the somethings better than them. Better photos, better price, better keywords, cross-listing, automation, all those things so you can compete with these people. You're competing with me on these same items. You're competing with Jeff Davis, who sells George Strait, right? You're competing with Jeff. So your sales strategy has to be better than Jeff if you want to get at least as good results as Jeff does. So you just got to remember that. Half the battle is finding good items that sell well on eBay. The next half is actually getting a good sales strategy so you can get those items out the door. Those are two separate skill sets, and you have to be good at both of those. I find the long inseam is better when selling Wranglers. I find that to be true on Wranglers. I find that also to be true in a lot of other brands as well. Just canceled a Poshmark order because it got double listed after I spent an hour searching for a Poshmark order with no record of it selling previously, only to realize I clicked an in-transit order and shipped Friday. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry you went through that. I would love to say that I've never done something silly like that, but I have definitely done stuff like that a billion times. You name a mistake that you can make selling online, and I've made that mistake probably. Should I wait to cross list when I have sold more? New seller. Get yourself to 150 total listed items and 75 items that have sold and shipped. So 150 listed, 75 sold and shipped out the door on one platform. That tells me that, okay, cool, you really got that platform down. Then it's time to add some complexity perhaps to your business, right? If you're comfortable, and add some cross-listing, right? And that would be my suggestion, is get good at one platform first. Don't get really complex because things can get weird. All the different platforms have just different processes, different ways that offers come in, different ways that you got to ship. Master one platform first before you get all weird. That's my suggestion. The threshold for $10.99 increased to $2,000 for tax year 2026. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate that. She was talking about the hat that was shipped in a poly mailer for her husband. Gotcha. I find the long... Oh, I already got that one. Should I read all these comments in different voices? Maybe that's helpful. Maybe that'll be fun. What is it? Way too late to the color correction convo, but if you're on iPhone, the app Yamera lets you adjust color exposure tint with a gray card to get accurate photos. Interesting. That's a good suggestion right there from They call me Spencer. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Even though you're late, that's good. That's good advice. On a Android phone, you can turn off all the enhanced settings for the camera. I'm not sure about iPhone. Gotcha. Good to know. Really good advice, Yoda. Uh, were you nervous to start reselling? Was I nervous? Oh, I don't, I don't know. I mean, I think anything new, right? You're going to have some level of concern, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, anything new, right, is scary, right? Like, what do I do? What's going to happen when this happens? What if I get a return? What if I make a mistake? I think anything new is sort of intimidating for sure. The bottom line is you just got to get in there and you got to make some of those mistakes that you're fearing. Yeah, I mean, you gotta price something wrong. You gotta ship something to the wrong address, and you learn through those experiences. There's no skip steps in anything. I mean, I often use because I grew up, as an adult, I grew up working in the restaurant business. Like, I always say, like, you can't just become a chef. Like, you can't just walk into the kitchen and become a chef. Like, you start in the dish pit, right? You're washing dishes, and then someday, you do that for a few weeks, and then one day the fry cook calls out, and they're like, hey, they're like, Susan, we need you on to fry cooking. You're like, I never fried anything. All right, that's all right. We'll walk you through it. We'll talk. You're going to make some mistakes, and that's okay. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to overcook things. You're going to drop things on the floor. You're going to put out the wrong thing, whatever. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. And then you kind of figure it out. And after a few months, you're a pretty good fry cook. And then, the grill cook calls out and the same thing repeats, right? And you start learning. And every time it's sort of intimidating because it's new. I've never cooked these menu items. I've never cooked a burger before. Never cooked a steak before. Never cooked shrimp before. And then you sort of figure it all out. But you're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. As a cook, you're going to burn stuff, drop stuff, put out the wrong dish. And, it's going to happen over and over and over. And those mistakes become teachers. So my biggest suggestion for you is just get in there and do it. Make some of those mistakes. I'm not saying do intentionally break things or screw things up, but just get in there, get in the mix, and learn until you get started. That's your best teacher. Until you get started, you can watch these videos all day. You can watch live streams. Thanks for watching the live stream, by the way. I enjoy having you. If you watch the videos, thank you for watching the videos. If you haven't hit that like button, by the way, that would be helpful. If you haven't subscribed or if you haven't followed us on all platforms, it's Chris at Peak everywhere. I'd love to have you. We are live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram right now, but we also post content on TikTok as well. So thank you for watching. But the most important thing, your best lessons, your best teachers are going to be mistakes. So go ahead, get out there and do some things. Automation. So my cross lister Nifty has built-in automation tools. So for instance, every 30 days it delists and relists all my old items, right? So that it shows up as new listings on eBay and Mercari and Poshmark. It's constantly sharing on Poshmark 8,000 times a day. It's sharing items in my closet, right? So that I show up higher in search results. I also have it set up to send me auto offers on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. So when somebody likes an item on eBay or on Mercari or Poshmark, or they watch it on eBay, it waits 10 minutes to see if there's a full price sale. If not, it sends a 10% off offer to the person who watched or liked that item to help me close deals. That also helps me show up higher in search results because there's activity. And that's what all these platforms is activity. They like sales, they like shares, they like new listings, they like offers, right? And that helps your items show up higher in search results. So that's what automation is. I use Nifty for automation. It's great because Nifty is my cross lister. It's my automation tools. It's my AI lister, meaning all I got to do is take photos of the items, and Nifty writes the item title, writes the item description, and fills in all those, the color style, all that stuff, all those item specifics for me. And then I just review it, make adjustments if I need to, and push it through. It also has analytics tools built into it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down below my link for a free trial for Nifty. So for 7 days using that link, you just got to click on it and sign up. You'll get 7 free days of Nifty. You can see how it works with your business, right? You can start cross-listing items. You'll probably start getting some extra sales. You can see how all the automation works. And then after the 7 days, you can make a good decision. Is Nifty the right thing for your business? And then you'll get 15% off your first month if you do decide to sign up. All you got to do is click that link down below in the chat. If you're on Instagram, I can't put links in the chat, but all you got to do is click on my name, go to my profile, and you'll see that same Nifty option right there for the free trial. And you can just check it out, and you can see if it works for your business. I don't recommend it for people who are just getting, if this is your first week reselling, let's pump the brakes a little bit on Nifty. You got some time, we'll add that down the road if your first week. But if you got 150 or more items listed and you've already sold 75 listings on like 75 items and shipped them out on one platform, you're probably ready for Nifty. And if you have 150 or more listings, it's got to be worth the price of admission. So if you have any questions about Nifty, let me know. But that's the free trial link. It's right down there below in the chat. There's a bunch of people like that are in this live, that are in the chat, who have already talked about how much they love Nifty. So if you have questions, either I'll have an answer for it or somebody else in the chat will have an answer for it. But that's your free trial link and 15% off your first month. I've been using it for over 2 years now. I switched to it in April of 2024, and no looking back. And I was using other cross listers. I was using other automation tools. In fact, I paid for a cross lister and I paid for an automation tool. Both of those things combined cost me more than what Nifty cost, and Nifty is so much better than that combination of those two things. So anyway, questions, let me know down below in the chat. I actually use Nifty. I actually pay for it every month, and it is integral. I mean, I'm looking at Nifty right now in my business, so it's like it's woven into the fabric of my business at this point. What's up? Scott Weeks is in the house. Hope you're well. I'm super analytic with my sales. I try to set a goal for the month based on the same month from last year. Is there a better way to goal set, do you think? What is realistic percentage of growth? No, I mean, I think your style of doing things is right. Like looking at year over year, same month, I think is a really great strategy. I have that set up in my, I use Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet, and I can go to a tab that compares this year to last year. So I beat May last year by 2%. This year over last year, I'm up 2% over last May. So that's pretty good. My June was really low last year. So I'm hoping I can beat June this year. But every year is a little bit different. But I like your goal setting around that. But that said, you might have more inventory this year than last year. So you might want to add like a different, you're like, well, I have like 100 more listings than I did last year. So I should, beat last year by 5% anyway, so you might have to like factor some of that stuff into it. But I like what you're up to. Do you do any vesting stock? Yeah, I have a financial advisor, and it's all through like managed funds. I don't like do any, I don't buy this stock versus that stock or play any of that game. I just have managed funds. So there's people who are smart that manage and make the trades and all that stuff. I don't do anything on my own, but yes, I invest. Started investing when I was, I think, 20. What is automation? We got that one. Thanks a bunch. Okay. Am I caught up? I'm not caught up. 18 sales on eBay and 7 on Posh. How are your sales? I'm not looking forward to all the Father's Day buyers stop buying usually when summer slowdown starts. Yeah, I had a good weekend. 9 on Friday, 12 on Saturday, and 15 on Sunday. So a good weekend. And I'm shipping out all 3 days. I did not ship this weekend on Saturday. I usually ship on Saturday, but I did not. We had a fun weekend. We went out Friday night. We saw our show. We saw Steep Canyon Rangers at Sierra Nevada Brewing and Mills River. Really great show. We had a really nice time. And I liked it as an early show. Doors were at 6. Show started at 7. Show was over at 10. We were at home on the couch before it was even 10:30. Like, just a beautiful thing. Sierra Nevada is like 12 minutes down the road from us too, which is another beautiful thing. So, but yeah, we had a great show. I thought Steep Canyon Rangers put together an awesome show. We've seen them a number of times over the years. They're actually a band they tour nationally, but they are from Asheville. Like, they live in Asheville and started the band in Asheville. So we've seen them a lot. So it was really fun to go back and see them. We had a good time with our friend Brian. We also did 2 hikes over the weekend. 3 miles with our friend Kate on Saturday on a new trail system in Fairview. That was fun. And then yesterday we did one of our classic trails in Pisgah. It's called Sycamore Flats. It's like 4.5 miles. So we had a 7.5 mile hiking weekend, which is pretty good. We mostly avoided the rain. Saturday we got rained on probably a good bit, actually. Saturday we got rained on, but it was kind of a refreshing rain, but it was dry for us yesterday, which was nice. My first week with Nifty was best week ever, and it was last week. Let's go. You had your best week ever last week, and it was your first week with Nifty. That's awesome. That's great. Scott says Nifty is awesome. I'll never go back either. I feel that 100%. After following Chris Kway and Surfs Up, Nifty should be a no-brainer. They teach me so much. Yeah, no, those guys too. Like they pay for Nifty and they use it every day, right? Like this isn't like some sinister conspiracy theory. Like those guys are actually using it. They're actually, they're resellers. They ship stuff every day and they go live, right? And that's the thing that there's a lot of people who have put out content for a lot of years about reselling, but not many people go live and answer questions and like bring this level of transparency. So when you talk about guys like Kway and Surfs Up, Kway is live, I think, like every day, so talk about like transparency and being honest with you exactly what's going on with his business. And same with Surfs Up. I think he's live like 3 days a week, shipping out orders, right? Like showing you where the rubber hits the road in the business. This is actually what's selling for me. And they're actually using Nifty and actually getting results from it. So it's not like this big conspiracy theory, it is good stuff. A whole bunch of different plans, Jane, right? The lowest plan checks in, I think, at $29.99 a month. There might be an automation only plan that's like $25.99. But Jane, we've talked about this. You're getting really excited about Nifty. I'm really excited for you to get your first couple of sales out there. We'll worry about Nifty down the road, right? Jane, start asking questions about shipping and sourcing and all that stuff, because those are the fundamentals. Nifty's great, but all it does, if you don't have a great operation built, which you will someday, but if your operation, if you don't have good photos, like focus on those things. If you don't have good photos, you don't have good items, you don't have good keywords, you're not putting measurements in your listings. Nifty's not going to matter, because all Nifty is going to do is it's just going to duplicate your bad, your less than stellar listings on other platforms, right? So now like other people can see your bad photos, other people can see your bad keywords, other people can see that, there's no measurements in your listings, so they can't decide if it fits or not, right? So that's all Nifty does, is it duplicates your efforts, right? And then does a whole bunch of automation and stuff for you too. So to me, focus on the fundamentals first, right? Really good listings, and it will take you some time. You'll work on some things, you'll finally build a system that works, but get really good listings out there first, then worry about all the duplicating and all that stuff, because then you're duplicating great efforts and then you'll get really great results. If you duplicate mediocre efforts, then you'll probably get, mediocre, a little bit better than mediocre results. I would rather you have really good results on one platform and then duplicate that with Nifty later on once you got your system dialed. That's my thought process on that. So Jane, I think you've heard me say it like 3 times now. Forget about Nifty for right now. Crush the fundamentals. That's more important. It will always be more important. If I just started taking crappy photos right now and started skipping steps with measurements and stuff like that, I'm going to start getting crappy results even though I have Nifty. So focus on the fundamentals first. It's always the most important thing. Jason's spreadsheet is spectacular. I agree 100%. Thank you for sharing that, Kimberly. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Jason's a really good guy too. My daughter and I did a 7-mile hike in Dayton, Tennessee. Nice. That's awesome. Good for y'all. Is Dayton in the mountains? I'm not familiar with where Dayton is. That's awesome though. What's up, brother? Andrew's in the house. Sierra Nevada is the best. Flats sound like my kind of hike. It's not flat. The trail is called Sycamore Flats. It's a loop, but it is definitely not flat. It's not the steepest hike in the world, but there is a good elevation gain. I'll tell you what the elevation gain is. It is not flat. I should have said that. Sycamore Flats, Pisgah. Like we've done this hike probably already 4 times this year. We do it a lot. Actually never hiked it before until last year, but now it's just so easy to get to. We did not see one person on the hike yesterday. On a Sunday, on a beautiful day, not one person on this hike. Usually we see people, but it's generally a pretty chill hike, like not really busy. Here's the picnic shelter. That's not really super helpful. Let me go hike. Here it is. 4.8 mile loop, 790 feet of elevation gain. So 4.8 miles. Estimated time 2 to 2.5 hours if you care. What's up, Brenda? Welcome in. Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the positive vibes. Everyone I sold the Jab Blazer Peak actually knows what he's talking about. It's a miracle. Did you sell one this weekend? Or did you already sell me that one? Is it the same one? Even old dogs like Surfs can learn a little bit. Sometimes they open up their ears and they listen to other people. And Surf, stick around. I got all the stuff you hate going out the door today. I got Wrangler, I got Columbia. What else stuff do you hate going out the door? I don't know if there's other stuff. Guys, my best sale is going out the door today on Poshmark. I should tease some of the stuff that's coming up. A brand that I've never heard of before, and you've probably never even heard of before. Surfs has never even heard of this brand before. This sold in like just a couple of days. First time picking it up. I was curious. I looked it up. I was like, wow, that's worth a lot of money. So that's going to be the best sale of the weekend. That's on Poshmark coming up. We got some really good bolo stuff coming up, like some good bread and butter stuff too, but some fun sales going out the door today. 5 minutes ago, $50. Pick or didn't happen. Pick or didn't happen. I used to do a lot of hiking, but did it for geocache. That's cool. Yeah, that's fun. I've never done that before, but that seems like it would be fun. Warren Snow Nature Park. Dayton is about 1.5 mile drive south of Knoxville in the Tennessee Valley. Beautiful hike with 2 waterfalls and lots of riverside hiking. I like that. That's great. So is it down near, I guess that's makes it near Chattanooga. Is that right? I like that Chattanooga area. That's a lot of fun. I've done some climbing. I've done some hiking out in Chattanooga. That's a kind of like underrated, pretty area. It's been growing quite a bit too. No problem. I'd rather sell on Poshmark, but I think eBay will be better because I have a lot of vitamins, supplements, diet pills, etc. that I need to sell. Gotcha. That's not my game, but I think you're probably right that those would probably do better on eBay. In general, eBay has got to have a higher ceiling for you. There's just more shoppers on there. eBay is always my number one platform, yeah, and especially with that kind of inventory, you might do better over there. What did I miss? Kevin's in the house. What's up, Kevin Hawthorne in the building? Welcome in, brother. We got an order going up for Mario. Great bread and butter here. Polo Ralph Lauren jeans. This is a brand that Surfs Up used to ignore for jeans all the time. He used to say, I don't pick them up. And then he started picking them up. He's like, shoot, they sell. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you, brother. These ones sold on a best offer, $24.99. I usually price these for between like $28 and $30 on eBay and Poshmark, and they sell nice and consistent for me. These are the Hampton Relaxed Fit, and you can see that Polo Ralph Lauren hit right there. Usually the model name is on the inside pocket. Like if you open up the jeans, you look and you'll see it on the pocket. Not always, but usually it's in there. $24.99. I paid $6 for these at a thrift store. Out the door on eBay. Buyer paid $8.95 shipping. Shipping label cost me $8.13. Out the door. Thanks to all for asking questions, for sharing what's going on in your business. I love hearing what's going on. Thanks for letting me be direct to you when you ask questions too. It's important to just be like, this is what I think. But you also got to make your own decisions, right? Like, so take anything I say with a grain of salt. It's just some dude that hangs out on the internet and talks about used clothing all the time. So you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's business is a little bit different. But I'll be straight with you. So out the door on this one, $6 sold is what I paid. Sold for $24.99. I'm going to tell you exactly what the profits are on this item. I'll try to do this on a handful of items. Like I'll actually look at after fees and shipping, like what each one of these ones, not every one, but I'll do this on some of them. It's a few extra clicks. So after shipping and fees, eBay's going to pay me out $18.35 on that pair of jeans. I paid $6, so my profit's $12.35 after shipping, after fees. And you can add 15 cents for shipping supplies, the clear poly bag, the shipping bag, the little thank you sticker I put in there, my thank you card that I put on it in every order. If you add all that stuff up, that's 15 cents cost per item on average. Some less, some more, you get it. So if you want to factor that into that too, but $12.34 out the door on those jeans right there. Pretty just bread and butter piece right there. We're going to get into, I mentioned I ran a sale over the weekend, 425 items I marked down on eBay for 20% off. And we got some sales on those items. So this one was on sale plus for 20% off, plus Nifty sent a 10% off offer to this person, Robert, who watched this item on eBay. So they got it all the way down to $34.55 on this right here. I have some G4s that are left over from, I bought tons and tons of these back in 2024 summertime, and I sold tons and tons of them, but there's like a handful of them left at bottoms of bins that, I probably sold this same exact size, same colorway. I probably sold it 10 times, right? But just retail arbitrage is weird like that. Sometimes you sell it, it sells really good, and then you just have a couple that sort of hang around, and it's unexplainable. It's good inventory. The market does go up and down on new attack stuff quicker than used stuff. But anyway, $34.55. We'll get this one out the door. This is a retail clearance pickup. Man, I took a big risk buying a ton of Holderness and Bourne and a ton of G4, all on like retail. And like this time, like 2 years ago. And I mean, I was spending over $10,000 a month on retail inventory from like May, June, July of that year. And I was like, I hope I get enough sales to pay these credit card bills. And I did. I did. Kim's grinding coffee if you care. She's making some cold brew coffee for us for tomorrow. Next up, these were on sale. This one actually worked out really nice. So Stitch Polo, used, size large, solid black. Stitch Polo, used, kind of a royal blue, size large. These sold for $17.28 each to the same buyer, plus they paid $6.95 shipping. So grand total, they paid what, $34.50 plus another $13, so $34. They paid $47 total for these two. And actually, I'm going to tell you exactly how much I made off these. 1 second. So 17 and 17. So I'm going to get 34. And I paid, so eBay's going to pay me out $34.28. And I paid $5 a piece, so I paid $10 total for these. So 34 minus 10. So I'm going to make $24 in profit off these two polos together. So even though that lower sale price, that 17 and change, they paid shipping $6.95 twice, and my shipping label only cost me like $7.25. So I basically, made $6.95 extra off the shipping, which kind of saved me on these. So nice sale, right? Like 2 items going out the door. I made $12 a pop, going to the same buyer in the same bag. These are going to Adam. Adam's in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. So not going far, staying in this eastern area. So shipping label was $7.22. And they paid a total of $13.90 for shipping. Out the door. Just roasted a batch of coffee beans today. Nice, Scott. What do you call that roast? Do you have a name for it? Is it a light? Is it a medium? Is it dark? Tell me more. I need to know. Just roasted a batch of coffee beans today. Scott is not the instrument bass. It's the fish bass. What did I miss here? Got my coffee today. Had a great weekend. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. I appreciate your support. Drifting with sunshine. I'm gonna remember your name. No, I'm gonna cheat. Is it Anna? Oh, you put it in that. You literally put it in there. I was gonna look it up, and you put it in there. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the coffee. That's awesome. More coffee. The office smells of coffee right now because we got a fresh roast on Thursday. So it is just like, it smells like a coffee shop in here. Plus Kim grinding beans in the other room contributes to that too. Was the wood round hanging on your wall gifted to you, or did you purchase it? My daughter hand burns similar things. Just curious. So my buddy Alan Mueller, who lives in Greensboro, North Carolina, is a total Renaissance man. He has like 3 different businesses. One of his businesses is he does like the laser etching on wood stuff. So the way the deal worked is I sent him my logo, and then I bought like, I think 6 of these like rounds. Like it's actually it's cut from like a piece of wood. So I found a seller, I think it was on Etsy, that was selling them in like 6 packs. So I was like, well, I don't need all 6. So I bought the 6, had them shipped to him. He laser etched this, shipped it to me. And then he got to keep the other 5. And we worked that out into the deal, that because he's like, I'll use those for other projects or whatever. So that's probably more information than you asked for, but my buddy Alan made it for me. So, He's awesome. What did I miss here? Just sold a $40 chinchilla during the live. Let's go, Bass and Coffee. That's a nice sale price too. I sold one of those just the other day. So I've been doing NASCAR, mainly die cast for years, added clothes, sit, and my picks are awful. Before I start revising my pictures and overhaul my listings, should I get a second account and keep the, I don't really understand. I don't understand like the second account thing. There's some people who swear by having like the second eBay account. And to me, maybe somebody can explain it to me, but I just don't understand it. When people are shopping for things, Andrew, on eBay, they're not like going to your store and browsing through and saying like, I'm going to pick up a NASCAR thing. I'm going to pick up some shirts. Do people do that from time to time? Sure. 99% of the time, they're searching for something on eBay. They don't know who the heck you are or what your store is. They're just searching either on their mobile device or on their computer, and they're just putting into the search bar whatever they want. And a bunch of results pop up and they might click on yours. They don't care what the heck else you have in your store. It's not like if I clicked on like one of your clothing items that I wanted to buy, because I buy stuff off eBay. I'm not going to like look at your store and be like, oh, this guy sells die cast too. Forget him. I'm not buying it. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't understand this idea of like a second store on eBay, to be honest with you. So hopefully that answers your question. There's so many people who have like talked to me about this over the years, and I just never understand. That's not the way eBay works. People are searching for items, and they don't care, whose store it is or what else you have in your store. Who knows? Maybe somebody does like diecast too, but really they're just searching eBay and they're buying one thing. That's like, I just shipped out a bundle. Of course, you're asking on that. A bundle of 2 identical shirts, same size, same brand, just 2 different colors. Sure. But 99.9% of my sales are not bundles. It's one-off things that people search for on eBay or Poshmark and they buy it. So the 2-store thing, somebody's got to have to explain it to me. I don't get it. I just don't see what the positives to it would be. And the negatives would be like, now you're managing 2 different stores, 2 separate logins, 2 different metrics to keep up with. I'm fine with not doing that. On the eBay app, after I search a camera photo, I choose sold items also completed. I always see like 1 million matches, filter something out. Just if you're looking for sold prices, just click sold and you're good. If that's what you're asking. And you can look at sale price, like recent sales. Yes, just filter for sold and you're good. If that's what you're asking. I'm not really sure 100% what you're asking. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that $5 super chat. That's really, really kind of you, the wild guys. Totally unnecessary, but totally appreciated. Thanks so much. Got a question, we'll follow. I'm here for it. That was kind of you. Saying hi to Surfs, Festive Flippers in the house. Halfway between Knoxville and Chattanooga along Highway 27. Gotcha. I've never made that drive. I've never made that specific drive. I've either driven to Knoxville from Asheville or I've driven to Chattanooga, but I've never connected the two. That would be cool, though. Thanks for sharing that, though. Good afternoon, Kevin. We got that one. All right, what did I miss here? Y'all are coming hot and heavy with me with the questions and comments, and I'm here for it. Bass and Coffee sounds like me been playing the bass. Oh, playing the bass. Yeah, he's a fisher. He's a fisher, not a bassist. Just what did I miss here? Here we go. I'm a bass fisherman too. Freshwater fishing only for me, and I live in Florida's coastline. Nice. Did this come in twice? Did you do 2 of these? You did 2? Is that 2 super chats for $5? What did I do to deserve this? Wow, guys. Well, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Is that 2? Really? That's rad. It's a light batch. Gotcha. Cool. Like a breakfast roast. I'm here for it. That makes total sense. I didn't know if the algorithm, who knows, it's about the picks and listings and second store wouldn't. Agreed. Yeah. To me, it's like if people get too much into the algorithm, if you ask me, but if anything, having everything on one store is going to create more activity in your store, right? Than splitting the activity across 2 stores. So especially, yeah. So to me, I don't know. I would think it would make sense to have more activity on one store than like half activity here, half activity here. Does that make sense? I don't know. People put too much into the algorithm, I think, in my opinion anyway. But if anything, I think it would be better together. But after being in stream a week or so ago saying I got a big pile of 100 items, got through some items, but decided to go thrift again. So I'm glad that you got some stuff listed. But you know what I'm going to say. Get it all listed. get some cash flow going. But that's good. You got some good stuff, some 80s Levi's, some Peter Millar Arc'teryx. Today was a haul. I love to hear that. That's good. Good for you. That's awesome. 2 accounts is supposed to help the algorithm. If one day you only listed diecast, it doesn't boost your clothing listings. That's the thought process anyway. Two accounts is supposed to help your algorithm. If one day you listed diecast, it doesn't boost your clothing listings. That's the thought process anyway. I don't know if I agree with that thought process. I don't think that adds up. Do you change your vendor or poly mailers in the past year? Are you still promoting at 6% on eBay? I've not changed the vendor for my poly mailers probably since 2021, maybe since 2020. After, I dinked around with a few different vendors and got some crappy stuff and had some inconsistent product, but I've stayed with the same vendor since probably 2021 when I finally found a good one. Still promoting on eBay. I change all the time on eBay. I'm adjusting my percentage. So I just started using Nifty and it resisted my items on eBay, but didn't promote it. So Mendy, you're going to search for this exact thing. Just give me a second. I want to make sure I give you the right. So somebody asked this week, so it's actually a saved search in my browser. Cool. So you're going to search, just copy and paste exactly what I'm going to put down here in the chat right there. Just copy and paste that into your browser, and you're going to get step-by-step instructions on how to set up automated promotion strategy on eBay, which is exactly what you'll need to do. Hopefully that helps. Thanks, Chris. So yes, on the app, just look at sold. Okay, I was unsure about having to choose completed also. Yeah, I think you're good with, that's all I do is I just do the sold thing. I don't know if other people do it differently, but I just hit the sold thing and that's it. And thank you for those super chats. That was super kind. I appreciate you so much. That was me. How do I buy pollen mailers? Where can I purchase them? Jane, I have a full list of my recommended reseller supplies right here. I'm going to drop it in the chat. So you tap on that list and it will tell you everything. It'll tell you like what size I use different sizes. So it'll tell you like which size I use for what things and all that stuff. So everything, shipping, storage, the stuff that I use for YouTube and all that stuff, it's all linked right there. What's the most you would pay for Peter Millar shirts, new tags if they resell for 80? I saw 3 of them all the same at TJ Maxx yesterday. Armstrong, you're going to have, I'd have to look at the item. It's going to depend on the sell-through rate of the item. It's going to the pattern and all that stuff. For me to just give you a number right there would be, would be inauthentic because I evaluate each item in and of it, on its own. So to me, Peter Millar shirt that resells for 80 is just not enough information for me to give you a good number right there. My suggestion to you would be look up the sell-through rate of that item, and look up recent sale prices. And then decide if the buy cost makes sense for your business model. I don't know, I could give you a number, but I just don't think it would be authentic. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to make up an answer. That's something that I've been very consistent on over the years. You've got to have to make that decision on your own. And there's just not enough information for me to give you a number there because 2 different shirts, I could give you 2 different numbers. Just depends on the shirt. Got here just in time to hear about the Nifty promotions on eBay. Gotcha. Cool. Hopefully that answered your question. If you have that question too, I believe the completed filter shows solds and solds that were canceled as well. Gotcha. Good to know. Good to know. I never used that filter. So next up is an order for Jim. Jim got brand new with tags hook shirt, $27.88 on this one. So this was Nifty best offer on this one. So somebody came in and watched this item on eBay. Nifty sent them an automatic 10% off offer on this, and we got the deal closed. I like it. So this is going to Jim in Liberty Township. Is it Liberty? Liberty Township, Ohio? It's like an abbreviation that I don't think I've seen before. Anyway, it's going to Ohio. And this is a men's size small. Not my favorite size to find for men. Did I not make a thank you card for Jim? I did not do a good job setting up this show. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome start to your week. Hope you had a great weekend. Sun's coming out now. It's been a mostly cloudy kind of day here in Nashville, but now it's like only half clouds, half sun. A lot of blue sky coming through. Very humid day. I got the air conditioner cranking in here just to keep that humidity down. Happy Monday, Dora. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you bringing in some positive vibes for everybody. If you haven't yet, if you hit that like button on whatever platform you're following on, that helps me out. Just kind of tells the platform you're having a good time, and then the platform will invite more people in to join the party, which I think the more the merrier for the most part. Next up is brand new tags. I sold 2 of these over the weekend. I had these on sale, and I think what happened, so this was on sale for 20% off and sold for $27.88. Brand new tags. I paid $10 for these. I probably bought like 10 or 12 of these, and I've sold a handful already, but had them on sale over the weekend and sold 2 of them. Both of them sold for $27.18. Both size medium. Retail price on this is $50. Brand new tag Columbia. It's called the Wild Cast Camp Shirt, if you care. This is going to Diane. You know that Aztec pattern I thought would probably sell really well. And if my price is right, I think it will. But I thought I could get a premium price for it. But the more I think about it, it's kind of off-brand a little bit for Columbia. Columbia is not really like a Southwestern style. Columbia is more like, it's like fishing, hiking, solid colors, plaids. That's kind of more Columbia. Those like really funky ones, unless it's like Oliver Fish prints, those do really well. But this is more of like a Southwestern style, not really on brand for Columbia. I got another one I'll show you in a second here. But in between, I sold on sale also this pair of Holderness and Bourne shorts. This one is size 40. I picked this up in a variety of sizes last summer, and the smaller sizes actually sold really quick, like size 30 and size 32. These 40s hung around, which is not a huge surprise to me. I've actually done really well in the past with Holderness and Bourne in size small and size medium. In general, size small and size medium, and a lot of brands are not the best ones to resell. They tend to have lower sale prices and they tend to have lower sell-through rates. But it's not always true. With Holderness, I do well with size small and medium. So I think, whoever is their buying demographic, maybe just happens to be a little bit smaller, probably a little bit younger. So there you have it. But the size 40 took a little while to sell. I sold some of these shorts for $40 to $45. This one was on sale, sold for $33.58, and sat around for a little while. So go figure. Sold the small sizes really quick. The big sizes, not so quick. Men's or women's shirt. The Columbia was a men's. Next up is another one of these Columbias. Same exact pattern, just a slightly different color on this one. Brand new tags, MSRP $50. I paid $10 a piece for these shirts, and I got a variety of different sizes too. So these are both mediums, but I also have them in, I think I have an extra large, and I have a couple extra larges too. Some of them are already sold. Anyhow, this one sold same price, $27.18. So this was on sale for 20% off for the weekend. This is going to Diane in West Dover, Vermont. Unless I stand corrected, West Dover, Vermont is pretty far up there in Vermont, if I remember correctly. It has been a long time since I was in that neck of the woods. But I think that's up near Newport. I could be wrong, though. I've been wrong before. All right, what do we got here? It happened. What do we got here? I had one eBay sale this weekend and some returns and a cancellation this week. Hadn't had either in a long time. Sorry, sounds like a slow weekend. And returns and cancellation. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like those things come in like bunches. You won't have returns for me, it's like you don't have returns for a few days, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, 3 returns got delivered today. Actually, 1 return got delivered today, but oftentimes on Monday it'll be like, 2 or 3 of them is not uncommon. But yeah, they seem to come, like those things just seem to come in waves. It's like I never get cancellations. It's like I got 3 cancellations this week. What happened? That didn't actually happen to me this week, but it just seems like that's what happens. When the cancellations or when the annoying things, they tend to come in bunches, I find, right? What's up, Jennifer? How are you? Welcome in. What's your best brand, which people don't tend to pick up but do well for you? Joseph A. Bank. If Surfs is still watching, he knows I love buying and selling Joseph A. Bank. But most of these type brands, including Joseph A. Bank, I don't pick up everything from the brand. I might pick up, I pick up the cream that rises to the top. So with Joseph A. Banks, I'm probably picking up like 2% of what I come across. And 2% might actually be high, but Joseph A. Bank would be like my favorite sneaky one lately. And I'm just saying that to get Surfs riled up if he's still watching. Do you feel guilty about reselling gifts from family and friends? No, I actually have to list. My mom bought Kim and I some Lululemon. I guess they're like, it's like kind of like a weird backpack. It's not a crossbody. My mom wouldn't buy me a crossbody, but it's just kind of like a small backpack, like a travel bag. It's not something that Kim and I would use, right? So we told her I'm gonna resell them. I haven't listed them though yet. I got to do that. So that's a good reminder. But no, I mean, no, I don't feel guilty. I don't. But doesn't mean you shouldn't. Cohen's in the house. What's up, Cohen? How are you, brother? Always good to have you in the live, man. Hope you're well. Hope your weekend was good. What's the high temperature down there today? I bet you it's going to be. I bet you it starts with a 9 would be my guess. All right, here's a fun sale. Now, this one took 5 months to sell. I picked this up in, you can see the retail price. So FootJoy, brand new with tags, $85. This one has Country Club logo. I picked this up in Denver, Colorado at a thrift store. That logo right there is Cherry Hills Country Club, which is just south of Denver. And it's hosted, PGA, I think it's hosted the PGA Championship a couple times, and I think it's hosted the U.S. Open 3 times. So, yeah, it's a really well-known, like highly ranked golf course. I think it's the number 3 ranked golf course in the whole state of Colorado, and I think it's number 65 in the whole country. So, pick this up. This is definitely one of those items where you got to wait around for the right buyer who wants that Cherry Hills logo on their FootJoy. And this sold on a nifty best offer over the weekend, so $50.39 on this. I think I had it listed for $55 or $56 or whatever. So cool sale right here. And I paid $15 for this on a fresh rack at a thrift store just north of Denver, Colorado back in December. Actually did a YouTube video about that. By the way, I dropped a YouTube video on Thursday. I've been dropping them on Sundays. I think I'm going to change my day though. But anyway, I dropped a new YouTube on Thursday. You can find the link in the description of this video. I'm also going to drop it right here. It'll be the top video on this list that I'm going to drop here for you. Don't leave now and go watch it, but maybe you go open up a new tab and go check out that video. I went to Greenville, South Carolina last week, did some thrifting, and I made a video about it. Also did some eating, also did some checking out Greenville. It's a beautiful city. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes south of Asheville. And I'm a little bit south of Asheville, so it's actually closer to get to Greenville to me. And it is just a beautiful city. They've just done a really nice job with it. And anyway, check out that YouTube video. I think you'll like it. I had fun making it, and usually when I have fun making videos, people they have fun watching them, right? But yeah, I really enjoyed making that one. If you're in the Greenville area, I think you'll probably enjoy it. Even a little extra, maybe. So this is going to Ken. Thank you, Ken. So I paid $15, sold for $50.39. I had to wait 5 months for that one to sell, but I knew eventually I would get the right buyer that wanted that Cherry Hills Country Club there. So is Nifty worth it if I'm only listing on eBay, no clothing? So they have it's a great question. They have a plan that is like eBay only automation tools. So what it will do is you'll get those automations. So you don't have to do any cross listing if you don't want to. You get that plan. I think it's $25 a month. Let me just double check that. So there's a variety of different plans. I'll just share my screen so we can read it together. So Nifty pricing. All right. So here's the pricing page for Nifty. So this is my cross lister automation and AI listing tool all built into one. I've been using it for 2 years. But the question is about just listing on eBay can you use Nifty. So yes, I'm going to toggle this to monthly. I don't do the yearly plans, even though you save a little bit of money. To me, it's not enough of a discount to make it worth it. I'd rather have the flexibility to change if I want to. So we'll change this to monthly. So we can see that if you do automation, there's a $40 a month plan for automation, $39.99. But if you just do it for one platform, like Poshmark or eBay, you can get it for $25 a month. So for you, and I don't think there's a name on your thing, it's user Z6. For you, you could get this $25 a month automation only for eBay only plan. And then what it's going to do is you can see all the stuff that it's going to do, recreate and send offers daily. So every day it can end and relist your old listings. So your stale listings show up higher in search results. And then we'll do that every day, and we'll do the auto offers for you. So it's a great way to feed the algorithm for eBay for you. And you'll probably see a little boost in sales and just kind of a consistent boost that automation will give you. So you never have to go and send offers to watchers and all that. It'll just take care of that for you. It'll wait 10 minutes and then send the offer for you. So that way you're going to close a lot of deals that maybe you didn't notice those offers anyway. So $25 a month, eBay only. Depending on how many listings you have, it might be worth it. I'd say you probably need, to make that worth it, I think you're probably going to have 100 listings to make that $25, pay for itself in extra profits. But it will save you some time too, which is really key. If you can make a little bit of extra money and save you some time, there you go. Now, just real quick, this is the plan that I use right here, $69.99 a month. I have 1,450 active listings. It might be 1,425 right now. And it allows me to cross list onto eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Etsy, and whatnot, up to 1,500 items. And it gives me those 500 smart credits. And that's enough for me, $70 a month. And that's my whole business right there. I usually pay for that $69.99 just in extra profits from sales in the first day or two of the month. So probably today I'll make $70 extra in profit thanks to cross-listing and automation from Nifty, which will pay for the whole month. And then the next 29 or 30, June has 30 days. So the next 29 days will essentially be free because my extra profits that Nifty made me today on the first day of the month will probably be more than $70 right there. And then therefore it's paid for. And then I have a free employee or a free VA basically working for me for the rest of the month. So there's different plans on there. You can check it out. And again, I'll drop the link if you want to try it for free. I just dropped a link down below in the chat. That link is all in the description of this video. It's always on my website too, but you can get 15% off your first month and get a full 7-day free trial. But you might want to just check out that little $25 plan, right? And you can do the free trial of that. That's that. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully that answered your question. Maybe answered some other people's questions at the same time. My mom got Meta Ray-Bans that she said I could borrow to make thrifting videos. Mom, I need prescription lenses, but thanks for the offer. Oh, that was nice of her. But you need the prescriptions, bomb. Or did your mom not realize that you wear glasses? It seems like she was trying to be nice though. Hello, Edward. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day too, brother. Appreciate the positive vibes. It's kind of you. Lexington, South Carolina here. Love Greenville. Isn't that a great little town? That area is just nice. I want to, the one thing I'd probably move to Greenville if two things were true, and neither of them are true. If the thrifting was better, and if it wasn't 1,200 feet lower in elevation than where I'm at now. I mean, it's like you drive down from, you basically drive down the Blue Ridge Escarpment. It takes you 12 minutes to get from the top to the bottom. It's just a drop off. And you lose 1,200, 1,300 feet of elevation, and you gain 5 or 6 degrees, which in the summertime I hate. It'll bring a day that's 85, which I don't like here in Asheville in the summer. It'll be 91 down there in Greenville. So if Greenville was a little higher elevation and a little better thrifting, I'd probably move there because the downtown's beautiful. The food scene's actually pretty darn good. The brewery scene's actually pretty darn good too. And, coming from the Asheville, which is a really good brewery scene, for me to complement another brewery scene, it means something. Especially I lived in Denver and Colorado, which to me, I think is the best brewery scene in the country. So for me to say the Greenville brewery scene's actually pretty good. The food scene's pretty good. We got great food here in Asheville. So for me to compliment the Greenville food scene is saying something too. I think it's a great city. But I just wish it was a little higher in elevation and a little better thrifting. I list non-clothing items with Nifty, and it has been very accurate. Yeah, I mean, I list shoes with Nifty pretty regularly too, and it's been great. It's actually really good with shoes. South Carolina is the fastest growing state in the South. How about it? In terms of a percentage and in terms of total growth, I'd be curious about that. But Joy with the stats here. Here's a free tip for going through shoes. If you see shoes with the BOA fit systems on them, check them, especially cycling and weightlifting shoes. Great tip, Bass. Appreciate that. Super kind of you. All right, what were we doing? We were shipping at one point in time here. So we just shipped to Columbia. We just shipped that one for Ken. Okay, order from Michael. This is a brand I no longer pick up. In fact, I haven't really picked up this brand in years. This one's just old inventory. But for a little while, what I was doing is I would pick it up if it was unique. And so we got RJC, made in Hawaii, USA. Usually made in Hawaii, USA is a pretty good pickup. I just have not done well with this brand over the years. So this might have been one of the last ones I picked up. I thought a really awesome on-brand pattern, right? If you're looking for a Hawaiian shirt, like a big, bold, kind of leaf floral pattern is usually a go. This one sat around forever. I brought the price down and put it on sale over the weekend and accepted an offer below that sale price. So all the way down to $10 on this one to get it out. I paid $5 at the thrift store. Sat around for a couple of years. See you later. I love getting rid of this old inventory. I haven't been very good at it lately. I haven't been running sales. I haven't been pricing down my inventory as much as I should. But I ran a sale over the weekend, and I'd say over the last 2 months, I've been doing a good job of lowering the prices on older inventory. So I'm starting to get back in the habit. I was kind of bad at it for a little while. So I have some stuff that sat around for longer than it should have. But nobody's business is perfect. Mine is certainly far from perfect, right? Like I say every week or most weeks, right? It's held together by duct tape and bubble gum and I don't know, toothpicks. We're just holding. The business is doing good. It's healthy, but it's just like any other business that I've worked for. When you get on the inside, it's not as rosy as it looks from the outside looking in. When you get on the inside of companies, you're like, man, how does this person have a job? How does this even work? Why are they in charge? There's always things that are like, why do we do things this way? This doesn't make any sense. I have all that stuff in my business too, y'all. It's the same thing, but it's great because instead of somebody else coming up with weird processes and procedures or whatever, or annoying people, it's just me. So I get to deal with my own idiosyncrasies. But anyway, I've been trying to get better at getting rid of the older inventory. I'm really inspired by Jay Hayes, who's my reseller sensei, who's the guy who first got me into this whole thing. And Jay Hayes has got a really great system built out for getting rid of old inventory, and it's inspired me. And I'm trying to do a better job. I'm trying to be more like Jay Hayes lately. And anyway, I'm trying to get rid of some stuff. Here's another one that I get rid of. Thank you, Bass. Something new to look up. I love it. How do I find your inventory list as far as the mailers go? James, right here. I'm going to drop it down below in the chat again here for you. Just click that link. It'll take you right to it. If for whatever reason that link down below in the chat isn't working for you, you can go to chris@peak.com. Just see how it says it right there, Chris at Peak. Go to chris@peak.com and you'll find that same list right there. The link is also in the description of this video as well. So you can't miss it. It's in all those places. What's up, Tina? Welcome in. Good to have you. Hope you're well. Thanks for the smiley face. Speaking of Hayes, I haven't seen any live notifications. He hasn't been going live lately. He's been head down, really focused on his business, and which means you can't have multiple priorities, right? So he's just look, my priority right now is just cranking up the business. He's been doing a great job. He's been working hard, but that comes at the cost of content. He's not putting out a ton of content right now, and I respect it. What do you guys think about Callaway and Greg Norman? Are they brands worth picking up for resale, or do you usually pass on them? I mean, it always depends on the price. If you can get Callaway and Greg Norman for 50 cents a piece, then they might be worth picking up. For me, shirts in my area are $5. So most Callaway and Greg Norman are not going to be worth picking up. But if you find them at the bins for really cheap, I think that argument could be made for those. Can I borrow $40? Of course you can. But it's got to be 40 Canadian, which is the same as 50 pesos or something like that, right? Isn't that the way it works out? Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're well. Tina in Paris is in the house. the one, the only. Favorite place to eat in Asheville? Growth/relocation. Growth/relocation. Oh, you're talking about your previous comment. Growth/relocation. I'm just trying to think through what that means in relation to. I'll just have to Google what you're talking about over there to see. But I believe what you're saying is true. Favorite place to eat in Asheville? Kind of depends what you're looking for. The place that we eat the most frequently is a place called Post 25. It's just south of Asheville. Some people refer to it as South Asheville, but it's in Arden, which is the next town below Asheville. We eat there once or twice a week. We really like that place. So for like kind of everyday kind of comfortable dining, bar tavern atmosphere, that's our favorite. But there's so many other places. So if there's something specifically that you're looking for, you're like, I want a date night, or I want Mexican, or I want, there's just so many things that I could recommend, and I'd be happy to make recommendations for you. By the way, that's really fun for me. Some of you might know that I used to run a channel called Peak Asheville, and I still have said channel. I just haven't been posting on it. And it was specifically about food, dining, and outdoors in the Asheville area. And I would post content. So I love it. I posted content about that stuff because I love talking about it, and I love making recommendations and all that stuff. So I'm happy to make better recommendations too. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. Juicy Lucy is great, and Farm Burger. Yeah, they're both great. Those are both really good burgers, and I would say I would put both of those amongst the conversation for best burgers in Asheville. I don't think either one is the best burger in Asheville, but I think they both belong in that conversation for sure. I personally love Little Pigs. Little Pigs is that little barbecue place on McDowell Street, like right across from the high school. Is that the one you're talking about? Little Pigs Barbecue? It's right across from Asheville High. I think that's McDowell Ave. I've never eaten at Little Pigs, but that's been there forever. There's so much good barbecue in Asheville. I don't know if I've heard really much about Little Pigs. I always just assumed that it was kind of like a place that the same people went to for like ever and ever and ever, because it was like one of the first barbecue places in town. But I honestly don't know. I don't have the book on that place. I've never been, but I think that's the place you're talking about. This is going Columbia. This is another like I put it on sale, and then it was a nifty best offer. So this was 20% off on sale. Then a nifty 10% off offer went out to Helen, and Helen accepted that offer. So clear out an ugly Columbia shirt. Look at that. It's ugly. Not a great pattern right there. So I buy and sell a lot of Columbia. I like the moisture wicking kind of fishing style shirts. Kind of an ugly pattern on this one. Sat around a little bit. Put it on sale. Send that nifty offer. Get it out the door. I paid $5, sold for $11.53. Look, I don't care what your business is. You're going to have items that you've got to clearance out. Doesn't matter what you do. There's got to be things that are left over. Sometimes doesn't make sense. Every clothing business does it. Every business ever does it. If you're doing retail, you got to put stuff on clearance, and you got to get rid of it. Doesn't matter how good you are at buying, how good you are at your selling strategy. Some stuff inexplicably will sit around. Columbia Omni Wick, men's size XL, especially this time of year, always a good seller for me. Doesn't sell for a lot, but it's always a good seller. Sometimes stuff just sits around, and that's just the way it's going to be. So got rid of it. Here's another one. I sold a bunch of these for like $35 a piece. This is the last one. It's got this it's an Adidas, brand new tags, retail. I don't know what the retail is. $100 is the retail on this. Size 2 extra large. It's got this like Adidas, and it's got the trefoil logo like right there on the pocket. These actually sold better than I thought they would. I paid $10 a piece for them, and they were selling for $35 a pop. I picked them up back in January on clearance. This, I think, is the last one. Good size and everything. I've sold a bunch of these. Selling for $35. This one had to put it on a 20% off offer and a 10% off nifty offer. Got it out the door for $26.64. Makes no sense that this one sat around. I sold all the mediums. I sold all the large. I sold all the extra large. And I even sold some 2 extra large. But this one, we just got to the last one, and it sat. So we got rid of it. But there's sometimes you just can't explain it. When you can, like, that's the thing with retail arbitrage. Literally sold the same shirt, the same color, the same size, sold it for 35. Then all of a sudden I couldn't get it, couldn't get it to go. But we got it to go, just lowered the price and we got that to move out of here. Still made money on it. I'm not upset with it, but just strange, It's inexplainable. Sometimes like Polo Ralph Lauren, it's my #1 best-selling brand, has been every year I've been in business. This will be we're wrapping up the 8th year. In a month, it'll be 8 years in business. And this year, the 8th, Polo Ralph Lauren will be my #1 best-selling brand. And I'll have like really nice patterns, good size Polo Ralph Lauren shirts that for some reason they sit around for a few years. But I'll sell other ones in a matter of a couple of days. It's just a thing. So you got to have a strategy in place. You can get rid of items that are old in your inventory. And we got rid of a lot of stuff this weekend with this sale. This was an interesting one. This is a newly tagged Adidas. These are like soccer pants right here. You can see the retail price is $45. They're called the Tiro 25 Essentials Track Pant. Now this one's brand new with tags, but it had like a slight flaw on it. So I listed it for a cheaper price, $18.99. It actually sold really quickly because I'm priced at the bottom of the market. It just had I think it had a small stain on it, down near the hem. So listed it low. I made sure to point out the flaw in the item title and the description and a close-up photo of the flaw with a pen pointing right at the flaw. So the person knows they're getting a flawed item, but they tend to sell, if you price them right, they tend to sell fast for me because you're going to have the lowest price. So it's going to get a lot of clicks. And then people are like, oh, it's flawed. I don't want it flawed. Cool. Then somebody comes along and they're like, sure, it's $10 cheaper than all the rest of them. And it's got a little small stain on it. I'll save $10 to have a small stain on these are soccer pants, right? Like soccer training pants. What does somebody care if it has a little stain on it? By the time they wear it once, it's going to have grass stains on it anyway, right? So anyway, I priced it. I think I have other ones of these priced at like $29.99. They might be like $32.99 or something like that, but priced around $30, we'll call it. Just priced this one down. Got the sale, $18.99. This one went quick. Sold faster than the other ones. I think I paid $10 a pop for these, so I'm not making like really more than a couple of bucks profit on this one, but that's what happens. You got to find a way to get rid of, you buy stained stuff, you got to find a way to get rid of those too. And we did. That one actually went out the door pretty quickly. Pair of Duluth trading pants right here. I do really well with the Duluth pants. So these ones are called the Cool Dry Fire Hose Cargo Work Pants. And this is like a heavy, like canvas style pant with the cargo pockets. And right along like the waistband, it says Cool Dry Fire Hose, like on the inside of the waistband. So these I had listed for $29.99. This is a good seller, this particular model. And I got an offer today for $20. I countered at $26.99 and the buyer accepted. So $26.99. These are going to Angie. I paid $5 for these at the thrift store and out the door for $26.99. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having an awesome start to your week. Hope you had a good weekend. Happy Monday to you. So these pants took 61 days to sell. $5 paid, $26.99 sold for. Buyer paid $8.95 shipping. These are going to Minnesota. Thank you, Angie. Minnesota. Did I say that right? Going to Hackensack, Minnesota. I do great with the Duluth pants. Some models I like picking up off the top of my head. The Flex Ballroom, the Dry on the Fly. That's more of like a hiking pant. And this one is the Cool Dry Fire Hose. Any of those like Flex Fire Hose. Just a lot of models do really well, but those are just some off the top of my skull. So these are out the door to Angie. My profit on these after fees and shipping was expensive, $9.37. Buyer paid $8.95. So after fees, eBay's going to pay me out $18.70. That's after fees. That's after the shipping label. And I paid $5 for this pair of pants. So my profit's going to be $13.70. They took 61 days to sell. Pretty typical, kind of average, right? Like make make $13 and change. Had an item for about 2 months. That's kind of this business for me anyway. Next up is Tracy. Got a pair of Levi's 559. These are one of the better models right now, relaxed straight fit. These sold on a nifty best offer, $21.60. So I think I had these listed for like $24.99 or something like that. And Nifty sent a best offer, 10% off to Tracy after Tracy watched this item on eBay. So $21.60. I paid $5 for these. Buyer paid $8.95 for shipping as well. And these are going to Waverly, Idaho. Idaho is a state that I've never. No, sorry, this is Iowa. IA is Iowa. I've never set foot in Idaho or Iowa, actually. Those are two states that'll have to be on my list. Do you ever do estate sales or just thrift and retail arbitrage? I haven't been to an estate sale in, I think I went to one last summer. It's not a big part of my game. If there's one like nearby and I happen to be like looking it up and there's one like near my house, like I went to one that was like literally 2 houses up from mine and I bought nothing. Yeah, it's not a huge part of my game. At one point in time, I used to do it more often. I used to do a lot more garage sale. When I lived in Florida and when I lived in Colorado, I did a lot of garage sales and some estate sales too in both of those places. But I did a little bit of that here since I moved to Asheville and didn't have a lot of luck with it. I found that it was not the best use of my time. So I haven't done a lot of it recently, but nothing wrong with that game. I think different places offer better, it can be better in different places. Garage sales in Denver were great. It's a big metro area with a high concentration of wealth. So I could do really well at garage sales out there. It's a small metro here, not as concentrated with wealth. I did good at garage sales in Tampa too. But clothing is tough, at garage sales and stuff. I do better when I'm picking up sporting goods and collectibles and vintage audio and video games. And I don't really like selling a lot of that stuff anymore. I like sticking mostly to clothing. So just a preference thing, but there's money to be made in all these different things. I have a lot of estate sales in my area due to having a lot of various company headquarters in my town, a lot of higher up executives and lake houses around. Smart. Yeah. You got to make the best of like what your market offers. Right. And I just haven't had as much luck with that stuff in my market. So I do what I do, but that's what I encourage everybody to do is to figure out like what clicks the best in your market and then do as much of that as possible. It's good to be good at like different things too, right? Like I like to do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, thrifting, but it's good to be able to like mix it up and do some of these other things too and be experienced in everything. There's so many different ways to make money. People source on Whatnot and stuff too. So I think it's good to be like a jack of all trades too, but to decide to put more of your time and energy into the things that tend to make you more money. I mean, I think that's just regular smart business, right? But be ready to pivot when you have to, when the thing that's hot gets cold. You shouldn't a thrift tour in Iowa. You don't want me to go there? Well, that's a bummer. Northern Idaho has a lot of beautiful trees and water. Boise has a lot of great food places. And try some hiking and walking trails. Nice. My chiropractor is from Idaho, and she was just there like a week ago, visiting family and all that. And she was kind of giving me some of like the rundown of about Idaho and some of that information. It seems like it's a fascinating place to me. I'd love to go. Chris, I grabbed some Arc'teryx shorts with what appears to be blood stains. Would you list it as it is? Kind of just depends. I don't know that there's like a right or wrong way. You could try to get the stains out, or you could list it as is. And I think both are the right answer. You just got to figure out like what you want to do. It'd be hard for me to say which way is the right way. They're probably both right. So just decide what you want to do. You should do a thrift tour I should do one. I think you sound confused, Joy, because I feel like you just said I shouldn't. And now you said you should. Now you said I should, so I'm very confused. I wouldn't even sell with bloodstains. I had to leave 2 New Tag shirts because they had blood stains on the shoulder area. Bummer. I'm in Anderson, South Carolina. Can't hardly find decent clothes to flip in Anderson. Most of the Goodwills are trash here. Sorry to hear that, TJ. You probably know what I'm going to say, but maybe you don't. If the thrifting ain't good in your area, get in the car, get in the road, and go find where the thrifting's good. I mean, people all the time they'll say things to me like, I don't know how you find all this stuff, Chris. You find really great things. I can't find those at my local thrift stores. And I'll say like, well, since December, I've thrifted in 6 different states and been to over 100 different thrift stores. I'm not saying I've been to like one thrift store 100 times. I've been to 100 different thrift stores in 6 different states in so many different metro areas over the last 6 months. Now, I know everybody's lifestyle, like you just don't have the option to do what I do there. I get it. But the point is, figure it out. I don't just do thrifting, by the way. Also, like big part of my game is retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. Figure it out. There's opportunities in everybody's community, everywhere in the country. And if there isn't in yours and you've searched every single way, right? You've gone to garage sales, you've gone to estate sales, and that hasn't worked for you. Retail arbitrage doesn't work for you. Then said go online. Source on Whatnot, source on, online arbitrage. Find, bulk buys, pallet buys. There's all these different ways that you can find inventory for cheap and flip it online. They're not all easy, and you're probably not going to be great at all of them right at the beginning, right? Like there's always a learning curve to anything, but get out there and make it happen. If it's not in your neck of the woods, if your thrift store down the street sucks, don't go to the thrift store down the street. Go to the one further down, and figure it out. There's always opportunities. If you're willing to put in the work, there's always opportunities out there for everybody. I don't care where you are. Get creative. Figure it out. Ask around. I would leave where they were found. Got some stain help there. I like it. Thanks for sharing tips and stuff with each other. I also get in with estate sale companies. I let them know what I'm looking for, and they give me heads up. Smart. I like it. No, I do think you should do a tour of my autocorrect. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know what you meant. But you did sound a little confused for a moment there. What would you recommend to get with the eBay store coupon? I always get these. I'll show you what I get. I'm trying to think of the quickest way to get this for you. One second. I will figure this out. I'll get you a link. This is what I typically order, and actually the quarterly coupon will end June 30th, so I'll have to go use mine. But this link that I just dropped below in the chat, those are the poly millers that I order. It's these ones right here. It's like the second, it's not the smallest size, but it's like the one size up. I think it's like, I don't know what it measures at, but that exact link will take you to these. This is what I order. That is what I order. Something just there's a glitch with my comment stream. So if I didn't read your comment or respond to your comment, it's because there was a little glitch, and now I can't see any of the comments. So if you drop something and you're like, hey, he's ignoring me, I'm not. It's just my whole comment screen just went blank. So I can see exactly 0 comments right now. So I can see Instagram comments, so we'll get to those. Do Toy consider your job a one-person income or something that can support your family? Do you consider your job? If this answers your question, my wife has a full-time job too, but it could certainly be, it just kind of depends. It just depends on how much work you want to, it's like anything. Like, so when I used to work I was a career coach. Some of you might know this if you've heard me in these lives before. I was a career coach for over a decade. And my last job that I had as a career coach, I worked specifically with software engineers and data scientists. So software engineers, there's some software engineers who are making $70,000 a year. But I also worked with software engineers that took jobs that were $250,000 a year. And the same is true for resellers. There's resellers that probably make $20,000 a year, and there's resellers that make probably $250,000 a year, right? So it just kind of depends on what kind of model you want to put together. And remember, not everybody can be a $250,000 software engineer. Not everybody's willing to put in the work. Not everybody's just like as good with like math and logic, right? Not everybody can be a $250,000 software engineer. Not everybody can be a $250,000 reseller because some people just aren't willing to put in the time. They aren't willing to build the relationships. They aren't willing to adapt and change as market shifts, and they're not willing to like take on like things like they're not willing to take on risks. They're not willing to use certain technology tools to help them grow. They're not willing to hire people to help them grow, whatever it might be. Like not everybody can be a $250,000 a year reseller. So it just depends. Like, what do you want to do? Brett, do you want to turn it into a $250,000 operation, right? And get landed inventory from pallets, maybe grow into a warehouse or a storage unit, and maybe hire staff to help you. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, or it can be a $10,000 a year side hustle, or like Nick Smith watching this live. He's got a full-time job. He makes $20,000 a year profit, and just as a side hustle. So it can be whatever you want it to be. But my wife works full time, if that helps. Yeah, we do head down to Greenville, South Carolina, and find some decent stuff. Nice. You're getting on the road and making it happen. That's what you got to do. So I'm not seeing any comments now. Oh, if I hit that button, I can see the comments. But if I turn it off, I can't see them. So I'm going to have to turn this button on. And let me see if I can make this bigger, because that's really small for me to read. Oh, now it's working. Let me turn. Okay, I came back. I can see comments again. Technology, it's great when it works. Wow, okay. So I might have missed comments. I'm not sure. Technology is great when it works. Okay, I can see this comment. I don't know. I think the comments might be working now. I'm not sure. I'm going to ship this next item. Maybe you can somebody type something down below in the comments on YouTube or Facebook. Let me know if that's working, if the chat's working. I don't know. Next up is order for Adam. It's a pair of Joe's jeans. This is a bread and butter brand right here. This pair sold for best offer of $27. Men's size 36 by 32. The model is called the Rebel. I paid $6 for these, and they flipped for $27 plus $8.95 shipping. These are going clear across the country to Woodinville, Washington. Since I'm reselling and working at Walmart, I'm on the fence of quitting reselling if I decide to pursue the ladder up to be a store manager at Walmart. Nice. I have friends who are now store managers. Very cool. Very cool. It's an interesting, it's a tough decision to make, right? Climb the ladder, work for, big company, right? One of the biggest companies in the world, climb the ladder, or build your own thing. Sound like two good choices. Just kind of figure out what's going to make the most sense for you and your family. Math obviously really matters, but like lifestyle, that's an important thing too. I worked for a publicly traded company. Not exactly sure how many months it was. I'll say it was maybe 6 or 8 months, because I worked for a small ed tech startup that got bought by a publicly traded company while I worked for them. And that's my only experience working for a publicly traded company. I'm trying to think back. Yeah, I've never worked for anything publicly traded except for like that, whatever it was, like 6 or 8 months after that acquisition. And at that time, it hadn't really become very corporate-y. Some of those transitions, right, can be really fast corporate transition, and other times it can be like very hands off. And that one was very hands off. Like I didn't have like really much interaction at all with corporate, besides like sitting in some Zoom meetings with the CEO from time to time. But it was pretty hands off on that transition. But generally speaking, I'm not a corporate type of guy. Just not my thing. What's up, Edward is here. Thank you for confirming that it's working. And they're making over 190K plus stock options and bonuses. Nice, good money. I like it. Thank you for getting me looking at suits and blazers since last week. Sold two Lauren, Ralph Lauren, 100% linen, and one Hugo Boss. Found a couple 100% Will. Thanks the other day. Nice, Mark. You're crushing it. I'm glad that you're learning and picking things up. I like it. I do reselling full-time, meaning that I resell when my kiddos are at school, but I make $35K a year. If you don't have to rely on health insurance, my husband gets employer benefits. It's great. There you go. Nice job over there. $35,000 a year. And it doesn't sound like you're doing it like full-time. I think you're like kind of in quotes full-time around the kiddos. That's great. And having that flexibility to not have a schedule where like if the kids are sick or, the kids got practice, you can just go. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's what, to me, like a lot of people put us full-timers up on a pedestal, because we're the ones making all the noise. We're the ones on social media. We have more time, we don't have the full-time job and stuff. But I don't think the full-timers like myself belong on the pedestal. I think people like running Yahoo belong on the pedestal, right? The folks like this is what reselling I think is best for. Like people who are side hustles, people for whatever reason, like a regular job doesn't make sense. Sometimes it's because of kids. Sometimes you're taking care of your parents or other family members. Sometimes it's because you have, health conditions that make a regular job and showing up to a regular job a challenging thing for whatever reason. I think, I think reselling that's like, to me, the pedestal is people making it work around other things that like a regular job wouldn't work for. So I think running Yahoo, like, working it around the kids, I think that's what reselling is at its pinnacle, at its best. Full-time, it has its, it has its challenges, for sure. But I think that's what it's, I think full-timers get put on the pedestal. And I think it's just because we have more time to do things like this. But I think it's y'all part-timers, it's y'all side hustlers, it's y'all working around other priorities. I think it's y'all what it's all about. It's all about cost of living, though. Yes, for sure. Do you recommend the clear bag and the mailing bags? Do you recommend the clear bag and the mailing bags? I think what you're asking is, what do I recommend? So I'm going to drop a full list of all my recommended reselling supplies right there in the chat. It's also linked in the description of this video. It's a full list of everything I use for this business, everything right down to like the table that I'm working on, all my storage out in the garage, all the shipping supplies that are behind me, some that you can see and some that you can't see. All the stuff that I use for like YouTube and all that stuff too is all linked in there. So the exact products that I order and reorder all the time are there. If I use it and recommend it, I linked it down below in the chat. It'd be cool to have a segment of you reviewing, critiquing your viewers' eBay stores. Would be sick. I'm sure it would be. It's something I did in the ancient past, but I haven't done in a long time. The company has, remember, I've been doing content about reselling since 2020 June. 12.5% unemployment right in the middle of the pandemic. I had a full-time job and I had a profitable side hustle. I felt a responsibility to start sharing what I knew with people so that people could pick up a side hustle and make the money that they needed to make ends meet, because the government closed them out of their jobs, or they were furloughed or half furloughed or had their hours cut, or the company went out of business or whatever because they were closed for months at a time because the government shut people down. And I felt a responsibility with all that unemployment, with all those people struggling. It's like, I gotta share what I know, because I'm doing good over here. And I got this side hustle. I got a full-time job. I can help people start and grow their reselling businesses. And so I've been making this content now it's actually 6 years this month, 6-year anniversary of my first videos ever on TikTok and Instagram. So I've done a lot, like you name it, I've probably done it when it comes to creating content, and I've done store reviews and stuff like that. It's just been a long time since I've done it. That company has, or at least used to have, great opportunities to retail arbitrage. I'm looking to sell part-time and give me some extra money in my retirement. Susan, that's what I think reselling is great for. A little side hustle that you can do at your own time, and you can dial it back when you're, like, say, a lot of people, like in the summertime, they're like, I like to travel. I want to shut down my store. I want to spend time with my family. I want to go to the lake house. I don't want to be shipping every day. Got it. That's a beautiful thing about reselling. Is like you can ramp it up, you can ramp it down. For me, when I had it as a side hustle, when I first started this business in Denver, Colorado, in the wintertime, I had season pass skiing. And actually one year we had a ski house for 6 months. Like we had a group, there was 11 people that split up a 3-bedroom ski house up in Silverthorne, Colorado. It's about an hour and a half drive up from Denver. So I'm like, I don't want to resell on the weekends. When I got the season pass and I got the ski house up in the mountains, I'm going to ski. I'm going to ski as much as I freaking can. And so I would ramp down the reselling business during those times. And then when the skiing started to stink, the ski house, lease was up in May, and everything was warming up, and there was no more skiing. I was like, well, I'm going to ramp back up the reselling business, and I'm going to spend every Saturday at the thrift store, and instead of every Saturday on the mountain. So that's the beauty of like reselling as a side hustle. A lot of jobs you can't be like, if I had a part-time job on Saturdays to make some extra money, I couldn't just be like, once ski season came, be like, well, I'll see you guys in May because I'm going to be busy skiing. They'd be like, get out, like what? Jobs just don't have that kind of flexibility, right? But reselling does. Oh my, I watched for 6 years now. Yikes. I don't know how you did it, man. I mean, you deserve all the credit for dealing with me for that long. Got an order going out the door for a B. I don't know that I've ever shipped an item to somebody named B, like B-E-E, like a bee, like a honeybee, B. Anyway, got a Walter Hagen golf polo. I think I paid like $3.50 a piece for these, retail clearance. They haven't sold very well, but this one sold on the best offer, $16.99. Walter Hagen's not a great brand for reselling. Even new with tags, I probably just have to price them a little bit lower. I think I'm priced at $18.99 on these. I've sold some, but I think I need to lower this price and get them moving. But we got one moving. This is going to Apple Valley, Minnesota. Thank you, B. Sounds like a hippie name. You know what I mean? Like someone's mom was a hippie and named them B. Maybe it's a nickname. I don't know. So out the door on a Walter Hagen. I have never bought or sold a Walter Hagen used before. This might be the only time I've ever bought Walter Hagen. I bought a ton of these retail clearance back in January. They've been selling. I think I should lower the price and get them sold a little quicker. Here's another example of G4, and there'll be at least one. There's 2 more of these I sold over the weekend thanks to the sale I ran. These are leftovers from, I bought hundreds of G4 and Holderness and Bourne in the summer of 2024, like right around this time 2 years ago, hundreds of them. And most of them sold pretty quickly, but I had some stragglers, and it's probably just my price was too high. So this one sold really cheap because it was on a 20% off sale on eBay, and Nifty sent another 10% off that too. So this went for $34.55. Thank you, William. Getting old inventory out the door. But if you're going to play the retail arbitrage game, you have to know that even though this model is called the feeder stripe. I had it in pink, I had it in gray, and I had it in navy. They sold like hotcakes 2 years ago, and they were selling at like $55, like between $50 and $55 is what most of them sold for. Then this one sat around listed in the 40s for a long time. Put it on sale for 20% off, 10% off, Nifty best offer, bang, out the door. But man, I'm telling you, I sold this same exact shirt, same exact size. I probably sold 20 of these. And you always just get one that kind of hangs around. This, I think, is, well, I was going to say this is the last one, but that's not true. I have another one of this same exact model that sold on Poshmark over the weekend. So that will be the last one. Retail arbitrage, just a strange game, man. It's a strange game. I'm looking to sell part-time. Oh, we talked about that one. You're welcome, Tony. You're very welcome. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Load them up. Let them up. They sell better. What am I loading up? Next up is Poshmark. Actually, let's take a little break here. Go drink some water. I have Mercari orders. I have Poshmark orders. That's it for eBay. A lot of eBay orders. Good weekend. Got some coffee orders. So we'll go ahead and get some of these out the door. Want to also recognize viewers who probably bought this coffee. So this order is going out the door to Brian. Brian has now become a regular customer. This is awesome. So Brian picked up his first bag. I want to say 3 months ago, and now he keeps coming back for more. So thank you, Brian. And Brian, if you're in the live, let me know down below in the chat. We'll get this bag out to you. Brian always orders our medium roast, which is our Hooper's Creek medium roast. This is our best-selling coffee of our 3 roasts. This is the OG. This is Kim and I's favorite coffee in the whole world, and this is our bestseller. It always has been. So Hooper's Creek medium roast. It is so smooth. It is so balanced. It's Kim and I's favorite cup of coffee in the whole world. And this is going out the door to Brian. Our coffee's fair trade, organic. It's roasted fresh every week. It's roasted on Thursday and delivered to our front door Thursday afternoon by our roasting partners, Dynamite Roasting in Black Mountain, North Carolina. About 30 minutes door to door from us to their roastery. Awesome people, awesome coffee. They have great relationships with farmers all across the world, and they're just such great partners. They just know what they're doing. And this coffee here is from Chiapas, Mexico, which is the southernmost. Chiapas is the southernmost state in Mexico, and this is in the highlands of Chiapas. So it's right near the Guatemala border. If you're looking on the map, this region is known for coffee that has just like a subtle milk chocolate sweetness, and that's exactly what this cup of coffee has right here. So if you want to try our coffee, let me know. I'm going to drop or you don't have to let me know. You can let me know. You can ask me questions, or you can just check out that link right there I dropped below in the chat. If you're on Instagram, you want to check out that website. You can't click on links in the chat on Insta, but you can just tap on my name and you can go to my profile and you'll find that same link to our coffee website. And you can get you a bag right here on the live like Brian, and I'll ship it out with a big dose of gratitude if you do get one here on the live. So Brian, you're about to get a shipping confirmation in your inbox. Wait for it with all your tracking information and all that. Brian, are you here? Raise your hand if you're in the house, Brian. Got a couple coffee orders from the weekend. Grateful for that. That's my side hustle now. Since I went full-time as a reseller, I needed another side hustle. Coffee it is. I actually just finished my second cold brew of the day. That's the what's left of it. All right, Brian, that tracking number is in your inbox, brother. Appreciate you coming back for more. It means a lot to me. And that's the whole game here, right? Try to get you hooked, because you're going to get this coffee and you're going to say, this is something different. There's something about buying freshly roasted coffee. Thank you, Brian. Out the door for you. Heading out today. You should have that. It's going to Easton, Pennsylvania, so you should have that before the end of the week. Probably Thursday would be my guess, but Wednesday is also not out of the realm of possibility. T. Mendoza is in the house. What's up? I've been surprisingly had a few really good wool blazer sales recently. I was worried if I would have waited to list them later on in the year. Guess it's not Texas weather everywhere. Yeah, I mean, people. Honestly, I didn't actually have any blazer sales this weekend, which is strange because I had a 7-day span last week where I sold 8 blazers in 7 days, which is a lot, and a lot for me. I usually average like 1 every other day, so to have 8 in 7 days is a lot. But as my wife Kim was telling me, she's like, people are going to a lot of this is when the wedding season and all the event season really heats up for people. So, I think people think like wool blazer, or a wool, oh, they're going to wear that for the winter because it's wool. But it's like, well, I've been to a lot more summertime weddings than I've been to wintertime weddings. And, people are buying for events and things like that. So for me, the spring, tends to be a really good time to sell blazers. Glad you've had some sell. I'll tell you what, if you wait to list them till October, there's a 0% chance that they'll sell in the summer. But if you list them now, there's a better than 0% chance. So there you have it. Walter Hagen. There you go. You're saying lot up the Walter Hagen. Not a bad idea. I'm a full-time teacher, though, through the year and part-time reselling, but now full-time during the summer while on break. Nice. Little switch, little pivot. I like it. My my good friend Brian, not the Brian that we just shipped coffee to, different Brian friend. He's a 6th grade math teacher here in Asheville, and he just got done. Graduation was Friday, so he is like got that like school's out kind of vibe right now. So I'm sure he's gonna be a good influence on like he likes getting me out to hike, and I think we're gonna go to the Asheville Taurus game this Thursday. He's a big baseball fan, so he'll probably be, depending on your perspective, he'll either be a good influence on me or a bad influence. If you want me to work more, he's going to be a bad influence. But if you want me to enjoy life more, he's going to drag me out and do stuff because he's going to be off all summer. So, and I have a flexible job, so I'm sure he'll try to be that influence on me, which I could probably use some time off. So next up, we got an order for Jamie. Jamie got the Peak Taster Pack. So she got one of each of our coffees, and she got whole bean for each of them. So all our coffee is available in whole bean, or if you like it already ground, we have that too. But this is whole bean. So Jamie's going to grind it at home like Kim and I do. Kim actually just ground some coffee a little while ago. So here's our Black Mountain Dark Roast, which is a blend of 3 beans from Honduras. Our Hooper's Creek Medium Roast, which is from Chiapas, Mexico. That's a single origin coffee. So all the beans come from one farm or one cooperative of farms in Chiapas, Mexico. And here's our peak season light roast. By the way, I only have a few bags left of our spring seasonal light roast. Thursday was our final roast for the spring seasonal. So if you're a fan of that spring seasonal light roast, I have a few bags left of the ground, and then that's it. We're going to switch over to the summer light roast. So this is all fresh. It's not like it's, I'm not clearancing out. Like we literally got these bags roasted on Thursday. It was just the last roast of the spring light roast, and we'll be switching over to the summer light roast here shortly. So, and if you did like this one, this is Kim and I's favorite. We've done 11 or I think 12 seasonal light roasts right now. This one, spring of 2026, was actually our favorite one. I'm not really sure what to expect with the summer one yet. I haven't tasted it yet. I'll let you know as soon as I taste it. But if you want to get that, I have no more whole bean left, but I do have a couple bags of ground left. So if you liked it, get it while you can, because that's the last roast of it. So Jamie got one from the last roast. So 3 bags going out to Jamie. And we're going to switch over to some Poshmark and Mercari orders right after this coffee order. And if you love coffee and you want to try our coffee, I would love to ship you a bag today here on the live. Good, clean fun for me. If you have questions about coffee, I am here to answer it. I would talk about coffee with y'all all day, but I don't think y'all would watch. But I really enjoy learning about coffee. And as Nick Smith knows, I like learning and tasting and trying new bourbons as well. So Nick is on my text thread for bourbons and stuff, but I love this stuff. So I'm happy to talk coffee with you all day. You just let me know how much you want to talk about it. But after this, we'll switch back over to Mercari sales and Poshmark sales. So Jamie is a regular customer. She usually pokes in with an order about every month or every 6 weeks or so. So appreciate that. We're shipping this out to Portland, Oregon. Jamie, if you're in the chat, thanks for your support. Appreciate you. Thanks, Jamie. Peak Taster Pack going out the door. Jamie, you're going to have a shipping confirmation in your inbox in just one moment here. Wait for it. Great. All right, Jamie, that shipping confirmation with your tracking numbers in your inbox. I think we just had another coffee order roll in the door, so we'll jump to that in just 1 second. Thanks to whoever that was. I'm assuming one of y'all out there is the culprit. That's awesome. I see you, Shannon. Thank you so much for your order. Got a bag of medium roast ground. Are you in the live, Shannon? Thank you for your order. Thanks, Jamie. Shannon, is this your first order? I believe that's your first order. Is that right, Shannon? Is that you running Yahoo? Is that just because I complimented your full time or your hustle? Is that what earned me this? Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. That's kind of you. I think you're gonna love the coffee. So this is our best-selling coffee. It is Kim and I's favorite. They're all our favorites, right? Like just like our children, we like them all the same. But no, we do drink more of the medium roast than we do the others. Sometimes we go through phases. We drank a lot of the light roast, the spring seasonal light roast, because we just loved that light roast. So we've been drinking actually a ton of that lately, like more of that than anything else, I'd say, in the last month or so. Kim's been all about it, which is awesome. But more often than not, this is what we're drinking 80% of our time. So Hooper's Creek medium roast. Hooper's Creek is actually the area of Fletcher that we live in. They call this neighborhood Hooper's Creek. And the creek that runs right by our house is Hooper's Creek, which is what the neighborhood is named after. So that's the name of, that's the reason behind the name of the coffee. And for every bag of Hooper's Creek medium roast that we sell, we donate $1.50 to neighbors of ours who got flooded by Hooper's Creek during Hurricane Helene. Really, Hurricane Helene flooded them, but via Hooper's Creek, if that makes sense. So that's when we renamed the coffee after Hooper's Creek, because we wanted to use this as a continued fundraiser to help families who are continuing. They're moved back into their homes, but they're continuing to recover financially. They lost, some of them had to rebuild their entire home. They had their home demolished, hauled off of their property, and they had to rebuild it from scratch. Others had to just gut their entire inside of their house. And so, we're talking about the financial challenges that come with that is just tremendous. So we're continuing to raise money for those families because they're not out of the woods yet, And 1 second, Shannon. I'm going to give you a free Chris at Peak sticker I'll throw in there too, since it's your first order. Everyone gets a handwritten thank you note, so thank you, Shannon. Going to Kiel, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's another state that I've never set foot in. Not on purpose. That's just the way it sort of worked out. I don't have any friends or family that live in that state to go visit either, but just never really had a reason to go there. So Shannon, I said I was going to put a sticker in and I didn't. Here's your Chris at Peak sticker. Where is it? There we go. I'll throw that in there for you. Might have to destroy this shipping bag. Yeah, that's going to happen. All right, we'll get this right. Shannon, now you're going to have a free sticker in the bag. You earned it. And now you're going to have a shipping confirmation in your inbox. This is faster than Bezos over here. That shipping confirmation is in your inbox with the tracking number. It is headed your way. You'll probably have this, I'd say Friday would be my guess. Thursday is a possibility too. But either way, it's going out today for you, Shannon. Thank you. I appreciate you supporting our small business. Means a lot to me. I need a coffee side hustle to fund my coffee addiction. That is certainly part of the math too. As we were thinking about like what I wanted to do for a side hustle, it's like it really needs to be something that I'm going to enjoy learning about, because I didn't know much about coffee before I started this business. And I'm still learning all the time, but it has to be something I want to learn about. It has to be something I want to talk about, and it's something I want to like share and discuss with other people. So like for me, we love like really good coffee. Like we don't just drink coffee as a commodity. We've always like sought out really good coffee, and Dynamite has always made our favorite coffee in the Asheville area. So it's a real treat to partner with them. But the point being is like, if I'm going to talk about this all the time, if I'm going to learn about this, I got to really like, it's got to be something I really enjoy. And I freaking love coffee. So it's been really fun. I'm not an expert in coffee. I'm still learning all the time, but it's a fun thing it was a fun challenge to like figure out this business, because if you don't like talking about it every day, if you don't like learning about it, then it's not going to be a lot of fun, you know? And, but it is a lot of fun because we picked the right thing. We picked the right partner who loves teaching us a lot about coffee, which is really important too. They're just great people. So thanks everybody. We could do like a coffee and bourbon live chat. That would be fun. I don't try a lot of new coffees anymore though, because we get high on our own supply mostly, but I haven't bought anything fun in the last, I didn't buy anything, I don't think, in the last week or so, Nick, from the bourbon perspective. I bought a lot for like a couple of weeks. I just kept running into good stuff. So I was like, I need to pump the brakes a little bit. So I don't think I picked up anything last week, but hopefully I'll run into some good stuff this week. I noticed more high school, college age kids in the thrifts today. Luckily, I don't think they are looking for resales or golf polos. Yeah, I don't think, when I run into the kiddos at the thrift store, I generally assume that they're looking for different things than what I'm looking for. There's probably some overlap, right? But for the most part, they're not looking for what I'm looking for. Thank you so much, Shannon. That means a lot to me. It really does. Hope you enjoy the coffee. I need the side hustle to fund the coffee addiction. I like it. You're welcome. You're welcome. What did I miss here? Full-time. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the chat, which is like, I need a round of applause for that. I think you also gave me a little bit of a break. Thanks everyone for being here. We're going to jump into some Poshmark sales now. Good Poshmark weekend. First one. Here's a brand I don't buy and sell a lot. I just don't run into it very often. You're not going to be able to see the tag, but the brand is called Flint and Tinder. You can see it says Straight Fit right there. So a pair of jeans here, Flint and Tinder. I very rarely run into this brand. I bought these for $6 and they sold for $29 on a best offer on Poshmark. So Flint and Tinder, that's a nice one. I think maybe the brand has cooled off a little bit. It was really hot at one time, but it's still a good brand to look for. Flint and Tinder. So a pair of Straight Fit jeans. Poshmark keeps 20%. That's their commission. So on $29, they're going to keep what, $5.80. We'll just call it $6 they're keeping. So that's going to leave me with $23, and I paid $6. So 23 minus 6, $17 profit on this pair of jeans. I need more tape. Thought I heard Kim. I was going to ask her if she can grab me some tape. I think my Instagram froze. I'm going to end the Instagram live. Sorry if you're watching over on Instagram. Looks like it froze. Technology. All right. So first Poshmark out the door. We got some really good Poshmark sales from the weekend too. Very healthy Poshmark weekend, including the best sale of the weekend came out of Poshmark, a new brand that I think I never heard of before. So I'm guessing that it's going to be a new brand for a lot of y'all too. Next up is Bad Birdie. These have been consistently selling for me the last few weeks, which is good because I got a lot of them. So Bad Birdie, brand new with tags, retail $78. Paid like $10 a piece for these. This one sold for $25. That was on a nifty best offer. So I have these listed at $28. And yeah, this is what I'll use this. Hey Kim, are you free for a moment? I was gonna see if you can grab me a couple rolls of tape out of off the black shelf on the very, very top. So this, yeah, black shelf, very top. This order is going out for Jeff in Riverside, California, clear across the country. So I made like $10 off this. But again, multi-quantity listings, so you know I love those. So I think in this size, I probably had 12 of these. So just one listing, like one round of photos, one round of measurements, set the quantity to 12 and just let them sell off. So $10 every time one sells. If it sells for full price, I'll make more like $12, but I love that. Easy money. That's the retail arbitrage game, is like that multi-quantity is so key for that. Cost of goods a little bit higher, but like dollars per hour is really good because of that multi-quantity. Next up, interesting find here. Found two brand new with tags, Lululemon. These are called the Hottie Toddy shorts. Both size 14, like lined shorts here. Both brand new with tags, but both of them had like a little like small like kind of stain or mark on them, like really, really small, but they both had it. So I allotted them together. I think I listed them for $49, which is below market because of the flaw. And these sold on a nifty best offer of $45 on Poshmark. So I paid $10 a piece for them at the thrift store. Thank you. Tape. I spent $10 a piece for them at the thrift store. I didn't notice the flaw at the time. So when I got them home, like, that stinks, but I still made profit. So $45 is the sale price. Poshmark's going to keep 20%, which is going to be $9. So that's going to leave me with $36, and I paid 20. So I'm making $16 off this, but it would have been a lot better had it not had that mark on them. But it is what it is. I still made the profit, and that sold really quickly too. I feel like I just listed these. 7 days to sell. So, but they priced them up at the thrift store $10 a piece because they noticed that they were new with tags. But it would have been a really good deal if those were if they didn't have the flaw. But it still made my $16, and it only took 7 days, so I'll take it. And these are going to Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. Going to Fernandina Beach, Florida. I've never heard of Fernandina Beach. Welcome in, everybody. We are, I almost said home stretch. I don't think we're that far along. Still got a good amount of Poshmark orders. Still got a Mercari order. So we're going through 3 days of sales. The last time I shipped was Friday. I usually ship Saturday, but I did not this week. So we got 3 full days of sales. I had 9 sales on Friday, 12 on Saturday, and 15 yesterday. I thought it was going to be a dud of a weekend, but the weekend kept heating up as the weekend went on. So those Lulu shorts are out the door. Fun little find when you can find new with tags Lulu at the thrift store. I don't even remember the last time I found new with tags Lululemon at a thrift store. But those ones had a little flaw. We got them out the door anyway. Got a bundle going out on Poshmark. So 3 items. So this is great. So 2 of these, this is a good weekend for these old G4s. 2 G4 polos out the door. Both of these are men's size extra large. Again, I sold a ton of these. I picked them all up like 2 years ago, and I only have a few of these left over for whatever reason. I don't know why this weekend was the weekend that they're all going to sell, but here we go. 2 of these and 1 of these Collars & Co. brand new with tags. So 3, this one might be brand new without tags actually. Nope, it's brand new with tags. So $120. I went back and forth with this buyer on this bundle. Ended up at $120. So $40 a piece on these. Very, very happy with that sale because 2 of those are very old inventory. So out the door there. My total buy cost on all that is probably like 65 bucks maybe. Total buy cost. It might be closer to 70. So I'm not making a ton of profit here, but I'm getting rid of 2 very, very old pieces of inventory, which for whatever reason just sat around, and 1 of these Collars & Co. So I'll do the math here in a second. So these are going to Tom. So 120. Poshmark is going to keep 20% of that. So that means they're keeping 24 bucks. So that's going to leave me with 86 bucks. And I think my buy cost was like 65 bucks. So maybe I made like 19. No, did I do my math right there? That's going to leave me with 94 bucks. Yeah, $94 after fees. And I paid like 65, I think. So maybe I made around $30 on these 3 shirts right here, which isn't great. But again, old inventory, I was able to move it in a bundle with newer inventory. I'll take it. 120 bucks, and after fees, that's 96 bucks that I get back in the bank account so I can move this business forward. I'll take it. That's part of the game. If you're going to play retail arbitrage, you got to sometimes move the older stuff and just get it gone. And but I made plenty of profit on all those G4s long time ago. You're just always going to end up with some of them just kind of straddling around. Another really great sale here. Our best sale of the weekend is actually coming after this one, but this is a good sale too. I wasn't sure about these Faraday. I found these retail clearance. We can see the retail price here is $158. This is a Faraday called The Breeze. It's a linen blend shirt right here. And so $158 is the retail. This sold on a best offer, $64 on Poshmark. There was a whole bunch of these Faraday shirts. This one, there's a couple other styles too. I maybe bought like 20 of them. They were priced between $20 and $25 a pop, which is a lot when you're buying stuff retail clearance. That's not really low price, but I'm like $20, $25. Like I bet you I can make good money off these. So they've been selling, and they've definitely picked up since it's got warmer. But so 25, let's just say I paid $25 for this one. I forget. Some of them I paid 20, some of them I paid 25. So we'll call it 25. So $64 is the sale price. Poshmark's keeping 20% of that sale price. So that means that they're going to keep $12.80. We'll call it 13 bucks they're keeping. So that's going to leave me with $51 and I paid 25. So I made a $26 profit on this shirt. But guess what? This is multi-quantity. I've already sold a handful of these out the door too. So I love that. I was kind of tentative on this. I was like, do I really want to spend $20 or $25 a piece for these? And I'm freaking glad I did because I'm making really good money off that. Like those Faradays that I bought. I think I bought close to 20 of them. There was like 3 different styles, a couple different sizes. So there were a few different listings, but this shirt I think I had probably the most of. And they are selling. I wonder how much I still have in inventory. This one's going out to Steve in Westchester, Ohio. You're running out in nearby cities for trips. Where's next? I got a few different places in mind for this week. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick up, which one's going to win. But yeah, I got more places to go. And I got some faraway places planned for later on this year too. So we ain't got to be, I'm not running out of places at all. I mean, the close ones I'm running out of for sure, but I'll go far. I ain't scared. 25 items pictured and uploaded to Nifty before your live ended, and post office closes in 15 minutes, so got to run. See you next week. Peace, Salt. Nice day. You're hustling over there. One more question. When you say you paid $5 for something at the thrift, does that take into account the taxes you paid, or do you add the taxes you paid in your calculation only? So fasting junkie, good question. So when I say $5, really the thrift store charged me $4.99, and I think the tax is 7.5%. So what I would really mean is that right? $5.36. In which case I would still just say $5. If it was like, yeah, you round down 536 to 5. So yeah, but that's what I mean is 536, if that makes sense. But sometimes if I'm in South Carolina, they don't charge tax at the nonprofits. So then when I say $5, I mean $5. So yeah, hopefully that helps. All right, next up is the best sale of the weekend. Brand new brand for me, and it sold really fast, I feel like, too. I just picked these up. Give me a moment. Yeah, these took 3 days to sell. I have never heard of this brand before. Maybe y'all are going to call me dumb. It's going to be hard to read, but there's a little tag here that says Amy Leon Dory. Is that what it says? I have to look at it again. Amy Leon Dory. Never heard of this brand before. Never seen it before. See if I can. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get the inside tag, but I paid $5 for these at a thrift. Again, I listed these 3 days ago, and they sold for $70 on a best offer. And there was actually like comps that were like up around the 100 plus. I think I had these listed for like $85 because I wanted to be kind of lower in the market so I could get a quick sale on it. I got an offer for $65. I countered at 75. They came up to $70. So $5 into $70 in 3 days, I'm all for it. But it's a pair of Amy Leon Dore 100% cotton, like wide leg khaki pants. They're just like twill khaki pants. Nothing fancy here at all. Solid color. $70 sold in 3 days. I paid $5. So profit on this. Poshmark's going to keep 20%. That's $14 of the $70 sale. So that's going to leave me with $56. I paid $5. Or fasting junkie, I paid $5.36, and they sold for $70. So what did I say? 56 minus 5. I made $51 on this pair of pants, and it took 5 days to sell. Awesome. Let me know down below in the chat. Is that a new brand for you? I'm gonna copy it. I might be saying it wrong, so let me copy and paste the brand name here in the chat, so somebody can correct me on my pronunciation. Let me know, yes or no, have you heard of this brand before? I just put it in the chat there for you. Amy Leon Dore, I think is how you say it. So awesome flip right there. Not too many like khaki pants that you're going to find used that sell for $70 used, That was a new one for me. There was just something about them that felt quality, and the tag I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look up this name, and see. And I was like, holy crap, they just selling for a lot of money. I would have been happy if they just sold for like $30, right? But when I saw the comps, there were comps up like $100, in excess of $100 for some of these pants used. I was shocked. So that's the sale of the weekend right there. Still got a few Poshmark sales going out the door, but those of you who hung around towards almost the end, like piece of scrap, you were here within the first minute of the live, so thank you. But glad you hung out for that one, a new one. Now, I know everyone gets excited about like these new big like high-end bolos. I do too, but you know what I'm gonna say. The odds of me running into another one of these, in the next, I've never seen it before. The odds of me running into it in the next 5 years, probably not super high. So as much fun as it is to know these high-end brands that are going to flip really fast for great money, if that's all I learned, I'd be sitting a long time before I find another $70 pair of used khaki pants. And, in the next like 5 years until I run into another pair of these, I'm going to sell probably, 900 Polo Ralph Lauren or button-down shirts, right? probably sell like 900 of them. So I mean, as much as it's helpful to learn, these big flips help the business, right? It bring up your average profit margin for sure. It's great. It's awesome. But the reality is like, you can't build a business on Amy Leon Dore pants because you're just not going to run into them that often. When you do, it's a nice little bonus is the way I look at it. But I'm going to go back to my normal stuff of just finding items that flip for $13 or $18 profit and run into one of these every now and again and, make $50. And that's like selling 3 items all at once. Perfect. But as sexy as those big bolos are, the odds of me finding that this week, not very good. The odds of you finding it this week, not very good either. But hopefully you do find it, That's why I share it. I did a whatnot show and came back. Wow, okay, you did a whole show, and I hope you had a good show. If you go on vacation for 2 weeks, do you leave your store on that entire time, or is it just better to wait 7 days out? Just curious if people would actually wait that long. So on Poshmark and Mercari, you got to ship within 3 days. So you're gone for 2 weeks. I'm closing down those stores and then waiting till like 3 days before I get back, and I'll turn those back on. eBay, I leave my store on, but I put it in vacation mode. I put it in time away mode. So in time away mode, you have the option of making it so nobody can buy anything, or you have the option of leaving your store open so people can purchase stuff, but then it will just, it shows them the extended shipping time, and it puts a banner on top of all of your listings that says this seller is away until this date, expected delay on shipping. So if I'm gone for 2 weeks, I leave my store open, I put it in time away mode, I allow people to purchase stuff, and it gives them that notification that says that I'll be away. I don't take a lot of 2-week breaks, but that's what I would do, and that's what I have done when I've taken long breaks like that. So, but you got to make a decision of what's best for your business. Maybe you're not comfortable with that. Maybe you just want to take the whole week off and not have to look at your phone or not respond to offers. Totally your call, but that's what I do. You asked. You're welcome. You're welcome, fasting junkie. You're welcome. Couple more sales here. So this one is another get out of a bad buy. Really, really interesting purchase here. Interesting in not the great ways, but I bought this pair of Vineyard Vines pants. They're kind of like a pinky red kind of color, pair of khakis. I bought these a couple of years ago. When I got them home and I'm measuring, like taking photos of them, I'm like, man, one of the pant legs kind of looks longer than the other one. I don't know if it's sometimes that's just an illusion, just the way the pair of the pants is hanging on the hanger. But I was like, they look like they're different lengths. Sure enough, I measured it one pair. So they were hemmed, and one leg is hemmed to 28 inches, and the other one is hemmed to 28.5 inches. I'm like, what the heck? So I listed them at the bottom of the market, and I made it very clear that one leg was longer than the other. I mentioned it in the item title, the description, and I did a close-up photo showing the measurements of the legs. And I was like, one is longer than the other. Like, I don't know if this pair of pants will ever sell. The odds are probably no. They sold on Poshmark this weekend for $13. $13 I sold them for. Got rid of them. What a crazy... I mean, I could be mad at myself for not noticing it in the thrift store, but gosh, to notice like the leg length difference of a half inch, but how weird is that? I get it. Maybe somebody, I don't know what happened there, but maybe someone was just really bad at measuring when they adjusted them. But they sold, they're gone. I paid $5 for them at a thrift store. Who would ever think, that the legs would be 2 different lengths, but we got rid of it. It worked. I thought for sure I was just going to have to donate these someday, but they're gone. $13. And they sold on Poshmark too, so there's no returns on Poshmark unless the item is not as described. But this is very clearly described as one leg is longer than the other. So I think they know. I don't really get many returns on flawed items. It's very, very rare because I make it very clear in the listing. What a weird thing, What a weird thing. All right, we got one more sale after this. Actually, before I do that last sale, let's take a quick peek live into what's happening. See if we got any offers or sales while we're live. Got a couple offers here on blazers of all things. So got a Ralph Lauren blazer. I'll show you these offers. So this is a houndstooth blazer, size 48R. So there we have it. Listed for $39.99 plus $9.95 shipping, and we got an offer for $30 on this. So I paid $7 for this blazer. I'm gonna take a look and see how long this has been listed. Oh, that's interesting. So I listed this blazer 28th. I listed this on Friday. This is actually the second to last item that I listed. So I just picked this up last. I picked this up in my YouTube video that I just dropped. If you haven't checked out my new YouTube video, I picked this up in that YouTube video that I just dropped on Thursday. And maybe they'll turn them into capris or shorts. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they will. But so $30 is the offer. I just listed this for $39.99. I feel like that's a pretty good price. I'm going to counter kind of like right in the middle-ish, like $35.99. Maybe let's do $34.99. Smack in the middle. $34.99 on the counter offer right there. And I'm going to hit submit there. If that item had been sitting for a while and I got that $30 offer, I'd probably take it because I paid only $7, but I literally just listed that on Friday. So we'll counter. We'll see what happens. Looks like I got another offer here too. Okay. So here's a Joseph A. Bank Reserve blazer. This is actually a really nice one. What do I have it priced at? $42.99. So Joseph A. Bank Reserve, Glen plaid, silk and wool. Look at that plaid pattern on that thing too. That's a good seller for me. That combination of the Reserve, which is usually higher end materials. In this case, it's a silk and wool blend, and just a nice pattern, like a very in style pattern right there. So listed it for $42.99, which is kind of low actually. I usually price those a little bit more, and I got an offer for $37. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that offer. I paid $7 for that blazer. This is going to Waxhaw, North Carolina. When I did that video, the North Carolina versus South Carolina video, I stopped and had lunch in Waxhaw, North Carolina. What a beautiful little town. That was part of my YouTube video too. So this is going right down the street. It will be cheap shipping. It's only 2 hour, maybe 2.5 hours away. So $42.99. We're going to accept, the offer of $37. We are going to accept on that one. So paid $7, sold for $37. That one, all about that pattern. When I find Joseph A. Banks with really nice modern plaid patterns, they sell. The silk probably helped a little bit on that one. So a couple live sale, or one live sale right there on 2 live offers. Let's see what's happening on Poshmark. Let's see if any sales came in. No sales on Poshmark. Let's see if up offers. I got an offer on a brand new pair of Levi's 501s, the button flies. I have them listed for $39. The offer came in at $33, so they want $6 off. Size 38 by 38. That's a hard size to find, I'm going to guess. So I'm going to go ahead and counter offer right in the middle of this at 36 and see if I can get it. I have a feeling that they're going to have a hard time finding size 38 by 38 501s, so I'm comfortable counter offering on that. But ship out this last order from Poshmark that came in, brand new with tags, Carhartt Rugged Flex, men's size 34 by 30, pair of canvas work pants right here. So pick these up retail clearance. I don't remember how much I paid for these, but these sold on Mercari for $35.99 plus the buyer is paying shipping. These are going to go USPS parcel select, so I'll have to drop these off at UPS. So $36.99 after fees. Mercari is going to pay me $31.60. These are going to Diego. Thank you, Diego. And thanks everyone for watching today. I had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it too. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you cracked half a smile. Maybe you gained, I don't know, some inspiration or some motivation to go crush this week. I hope you do. I hope you have an awesome week of sales. I hope you find some really great stuff. I'm going to be on the road for a little bit this week. Be thrifting and filming a YouTube video. So I'm looking forward to getting back out on the road for a couple of days. And I'll bring you a new YouTube video here soon of that. Of course, I'm going to post content, every day this week. I'll put out some photo posts. I'll put out my short videos and all that stuff. So look for that. And I'll be live around noontime Monday of next week as well, showing you exactly what sold over the weekend. And in the meantime, have a great freaking week. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me on Monday. Hope it was worthwhile. And remember, if you're just popping in now and you're like, shoot, I just popped in, all these lives are available as a recording. As soon as I end this live here in a few seconds, you can rewatch this entire live. You can fast forward through my rambling crap, or you can rewind to the really good stuff. There were some really good sales in there, so worth checking out. And appreciate everyone being here. Nick, I'll wave as he passed through on Charlotte. Yeah, enjoy your trip, man. That's awesome. That'd be cool if I could make it down to the airport, but I will. It'll be a baseball game that night, but or that day. You didn't say when you're coming through. Maybe I could. I don't know. But anyway, enjoy your trip, brother, and